possible. And if you switch today, you get free phones for $0 down and only $25 a month per line for 4 lines. Find out more at T-Mobile.com or visit your local store.
Best mobile network based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data to age 2025. With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 connection charge per line. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement example $299.99 Moto Edge 5G required. T-Satellite available with compatible device in most outdoor areas in the U.S. where you can see the sky. Included with experience beyond or $10 a month. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Visit T-Mobile.com.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect. Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! Incredible! What a finish! Sensational combination! Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson, plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
We back. 4-day weekend over and done with. Sacramento Kings basketball has returned, kinda. And Matt and Kayla are back with you here on a beautiful Monday here in July, the 6th of July. Hello, everybody. I'm Matt George. Kayla Anderson with me. We got Kyle Ledbetter with us as well, pressing the buttons on the other side of the glass. Glad to be back. Lots to talk about today. 2 Kings games and 2 Kings wins inside the Golden One Center. The Kings looking for a perfect California Classic tonight as they take on the Milwaukee Bucks at 7 p.m. Kayla Anderson and I were inside the Golden One Center for Darius Acuff's Kings debut. Again, kinda, asterisk. It's Summer League. It's California Classic. But Kayla, first off, hello. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Secondly, we got to see him. We got to see him in a Kings jersey. And I'll say this. He wasn't afraid to shoot.
No.
He let it fly 29
shots. Matt was really confident, too, that it was going to get to 30. And guess what?
I wanted it.
It would have gotten to 30 if he would have taken that shot at the end. But instead, he made the right play. Again, this is a player who has high basketball IQ. I think he saw the defenders backing off of Nique a little bit, passed it over to his guy Nique. Now, Nique hesitated. I was a little nervous. He hesitated, and then he went back and took the three, and it went down. And, man, I'll tell you what, Matt, at times during the game there were some lulls, right?
Okay.
But the fourth quarter, especially towards the end, was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And to have that shot go in by Nique, by the way, I love Nique. He's great. That was really exciting.
Yeah.
And then we got to talk to both players afterward, which I thought both did a great job of just explaining things, and even Acuff showing a little bit of his personality.
He's starting to warm up.
I saw some smiles in there. I was like, okay, I'd like to see it. So it was fun.
Darius Acuff Jr. in his introductory press conference here in Sacramento inside the Golden One Center was asked what's the most underrated part of his game in his mind, and he said his passing.
Yep.
Scott Perry talked a lot about, of course, his scoring ability and his personality and who he is as like he's committed to being a star and wants to be the best guy in the room, but also talked about he is a good playmaker, a good point guard. That was a moment where game is tied. You've taken 29 freaking shots, so obviously you're not afraid to let it fly. You've played 30 minutes, which is crazy for a Summer League California Classic game with 10-minute quarters. Like, you are in the driver's seat to, here's my moment, my welcome to the NBA, isolation, I'm a cook, I'm going to get my game winner, and at the same time, while Darren Peterson was putting on a show in Utah in their Summer League, and he had a fantastic debut. Kingston Flemings had a really good Summer League debut. Cam Boozer had a really good Summer League debut. Here's Darius Acuff, my opportunity to be the dude that the Sacramento Kings drafted me to be, essentially. And like you said, and he explained after the game, he looks over and he sees Nique Clifford's defender cheating towards him a little bit, because everybody in that gym thought Acuff was going to take that shot. And everybody thought Acuff was going to get downhill, because Darius did not shoot the ball well in this game. He was 1 of 9 from three-point range. Didn't shoot the ball well from the mid-range, but he got himself going by getting downhill and getting to the rim. We'll talk more about that in a second. Defender cheats over. Bam. He hits Nique Clifford. And as he said, and I wrote it down because I thought it was a fantastic quote, when he was asked about passing the ball to Nique Clifford, he said, I trusted him and I knew he would make it. I just made the right play and he knocked it down for me.
Yeah, no, again, smart basketball play by Darius Acuff, who, by the way, I know we're going to get to in a second, did start off a little rusty, has not played a game since March. I'm not going to go make excuses for the young man. One thing I freaking love about Darius, and he proved it again, he do not get phased. He just doesn't. Like, he knew he wasn't playing well. And instead of just, pouting or whatever, we saw in the second quarter him start to, kick it into gear. And then as the game went on, coming out of the half, I think slowly but surely he started to get more in the groove. It took him a while to hit that first 3-point shot, but none of the team was hitting threes. Their percentage was pathetic.
2 games in a row. 2 games in a row, they could not hit threes.
The one thing I will say I was a little bit shocked at, and again, he came out after the game and said this, but I tweeted out about the fourth quarter, his first assist of the game. And I'm like, this is weird. And I had to double check. This was his first assist of the game. And sure enough, after the game, I think Darius ended up with 5 or 4 assists in that game.
Let me see. I have it right here. I think he had 4.
Yeah, I think 4 assists in that game.
4 assists, yeah.
But that is, I knew, I was like, he ain't going to be happy with this.
1 turnover.
Which was good
yeah.
for the amount of pressure he was getting. But sure enough, what did D say after the game? He said, I need to be better, obviously, all around, but I was not happy with my assists in terms of yesterday.
He brought up repeatedly that he wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
But he was sped up.
Boom.
He felt like he said as the game went on, he became more comfortable and he settled in a little bit more. But he said he was trying to do things too fast and give credit to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets' game plan was, we've got a bunch of guys who are young and hungry and ready to make a roster. They had a lot of length on that team.
They really
did. So their game plan was throw all that length at Darius Acuff, and as soon as Acuff passes the half-court line, we're on him and make him work. And he worked. I mean, he took 29 shots. It's a super, super inefficient game for Darius Acuff Jr. Nobody is denying that. If you want to call it a bad game even, I guess you can say that. But if 25 points and making the game-winning pass is a bad game, then the Sacramento Kings will take that 10 times out of 10 because they know that he can obviously improve. But Acuff said it himself. I was rushed. I think his teammates mentioned, we know he can score from anywhere on the floor, but he's just trying to maybe do a little bit too much with the basketball and trying to get his and make his impact immediately pretty quickly. But what changed the game for Darius and what I asked him about after the game was he started getting downhill.
Yep.
He started getting to the rim.
Started to drive more.
And what I asked him about specifically, and I don't remember his answer. His answer was along the lines of, I'm very confident in my ability to get downhill, and I should be getting downhill more. That should be part of my game. But Darius, like Kingston Flemings and a number of these other guards, dealt with the small label, undersized guard, small guard, below the rim player, right? We heard all these labels put on a 6'2 point guard, 6'3 point guard in shoes, which is we get that. Jalen Brunson gets the same label. Mm-hmm. There was nothing about Darius Acuff Jr. when he was attacking the basket. Granted, it's against Summer League competition, so we're not talking about he's taking on Giannis. But there was nothing about the way that Darius Acuff played that felt small, undersized, and below the rim to me. He got downhill, attacked the basket, scored at the rim, finished some incredible, Darius is a shot maker, and he can make some pretty nuts shots. And then he also, by getting downhill, started throwing lobs and dishing out assists as well. So we know Acuff can shoot the you-know-what out the basketball.
Right.
But to see a undersized small guard get himself going by getting to the rim, I was encouraged by that.
Yeah, and B-Dites in the YouTube chat, which we all love when you guys participate, so thanks again for chiming in the YouTube chat. You're right. He wanted to chime in because his assist numbers were low. He felt partly because the team was not shooting well. And you're right. The team was not shooting well, especially that first half. It was just ice cold, right?
The Kings were 5 of 27 from 3.
Yeah, it was really bad. No surprise. The 3-point percentage and Golden One Center, I hope that changes eventually with these young men.
Opposing teams shoot great.
But opposing teams, and we were joking about that up there when we were, I think it was Scott Marsh that was sitting next to me, and we were like, yep, here we go again. But in all seriousness, Darius Acuff Jr. is also out there for the first time in a live game with brand new teammates too.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's trust that has to happen. There's chemistry that has to form. And that's going to take a minute. Right. But this is what the California Classic is for. This is what Summer League that's coming up here is for in Vegas. Mm-hmm. I just love seeing, though, these fresh faces and this fresh energy that's kind of even in Golden One Center this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I know Saturday or Sunday, it felt, I was watching and everything, and it felt like there was even more energy than there was on the 4th because obviously people had plans and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about Sunday really quick.
Yeah.
By the way, what you're alluding to is something that we're going to talk about at 11 o'clock because I left yesterday, after yesterday's game, I left feeling like Scott Perry is giving Doug Christie what Doug Christie's been asking for.
I saw that tweet. Mm-hmm.
The question is, though, how do you balance and how do you develop it? Because Scott's not giving him the finished product of these pieces. He's giving him pieces that fit that mold that he's going to have to develop and workshop and figure out. We'll get into that at 11 o'clock. First off, I'll say this. On a Sunday, holiday weekend, crowd inside the Golden One Center on Sunday was awesome. The energy in there, especially in the fourth quarter when the Kings made their comeback, because they were losing pretty bad to the Golden State Warriors in that game. They were down double digits for a large portion of that game.
Yep.
Battled back, ended up winning it. We'll talk about the individual performances in just a second. I will say that this is Summer League. Right? Mm-hmm. Very much like if you're going to a spring training game, you don't know who's going to be playing. You don't know who's going to be in and out of the lineup, things like that.
Yeah.
I did feel for Sacramento Kings fans who went there to see the young guys, and, I mean, you saw some of them, but Darius didn't play.
Nope.
Cardwell didn't play. We knew Alex Caravan has been out with his injury. He didn't play. Nique Clifford didn't play. That was a bummer.
It was.
Like, that was a bummer for a lot of people there. Again, I get it. I have no idea who's going to play and who's not tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. I had a feeling Acuff wasn't going to play, and a lot of those guys weren't going to play on Sunday because they all played over 30 minutes on Saturday, which is insane in a summer league game. So I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case. And look, the big matchups are coming in Las Vegas. Those marquee matchups, like we didn't get to see Darius Acuff Jr. versus Michael Brown Jr.
Did you see Michael's playing today?
He's playing tonight, which is good, but we didn't get to see that. But I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, the Kings are playing the Nets in Summer League in Las Vegas.
So
we'll see that there.
Sure.
Like, the NBA is naturally going to prioritize the marquee matchups in the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas when a whole bunch of people are in town. So I get that. It was disappointing. I got to see it, so I was fine. My son could care less. He's 5 years old. He's like, hey, basketball.
He's like, it all looks cool.
But there were a lot of fans there that were definitely disappointed, but they still cheered for everybody who was there. We got to see Emmanuel Sharp play really, really well.
I love him.
I've been very impressed by him in these first couple of games. Although Emmanuel Sharp's shooting motion is a little bit funky to me.
Did you see, especially his 3-point shot? It's like
he shoots
it's funky
he
to
shoots
the side.
to the side. His elbow is out. And he floats a lot. That was the term that Frankie Cardicelli used, and he's right. Like, he does not take set shot threes. He just is always kind of floating to the left. So that's something that I think the Kings are going to have to work on with him, because he was obviously a very good shooter at the University of Houston. He shot 37% on like 7 attempts per game, one of the best three-point shooters in Houston basketball history in that sense. But like, the NBA defense is different. The speed of the game is different. Man, we got to get you to set those feet a little bit more, or get a little more steady if you're shooting off of the dribble. But Emmanuel Sharp definitely was more of the leader he had to be for the Sacramento Kings in Game 2 yesterday, with Acuff being out. And I felt that he responded pretty well. I'm pulling up his numbers right now just so we have them. Emmanuel Sharp, he went 5 of 15, 4 of 12 from three-point range. Again, not afraid to let it fly, but he led the Kings, or Isaiah Stevens and Emmanuel Sharp led the Kings each with 18 points in yesterday's game.
I got to see, obviously, a little bit of Sharp in person on, Saturday.
Yep.
And at times when Acuff was obviously having some rust being shaken off, especially in that first half, I do feel like Sharp kind of stepped in as the guy that was getting the team going at points, though, which I did like to see in terms of, I know he's not maybe going to be a guy we're going to see a ton of minutes from, but I do feel like, especially watching him on the defensive side of the ball, like, first of all, he's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
But there was that really big play where he got the turnover that led to the offensive play, I believe, by Cardwell. I can't remember. Was it the
lob?
I can't remember if it was to Card. I think
I don't know.
it was like
I don't remember
steal.
who it was from. Yeah, he got the steal. He got out in transition. He threw a lob.
I think it was Cardwell.
It might have been to Dylan. I think I wrote it down.
I thought that was a huge play too. Just there were moments I saw him kind of come up big with like the energy even.
Well, and he and my MVP of California Classic so far, which I'll get to in just a second, they were huge before Acuff passed the ball to Clifford for the game winner. So we all love Dylan Cardwell because he dunks on the first possession of the game. He gets a dunk and is already firing the crowd up, and then kind of doesn't do a whole lot offensively for the rest of the game. But in the fourth quarter, there's a tie-up, and Dylan refuses to let go of the basketball after the dead ball is called. He holds on to it. He's yelling in the face of whoever the Brooklyn Nets player was, and they're both fighting over the basketball, and the teams kind of come together. Gets a little bit chippy. Again, Dylan Cardwell is one of the nicest people on the planet. He's a total goofball.
But he has a character on the floor.
When he's between the lines, he's not going to let you out-hustle him. He's going to get in your head. This was the same Dylan Cardwell that was barking at the Warriors bench and then got Draymond Green and Steph Curry to bark back at him. Like, those are two veterans in this league that are barking at a rookie in an end of regular season game that didn't matter. Like, that's just who Dylan is. So Dylan gets this jump ball. He actually wins the jump ball. However, the ball comes out to a Brooklyn Nets player who now has nobody between him and the basket. Fast break on the other end. Yeah. And Emmanuel Sharp comes running up on his left. Yeah. And Jonathan Mobo, who's I love this dude, comes running up on the right. or it might have been the other way. It was the other way around. Sorry, Mobo was on the left, Sharp's on the right. Mobo's trying to go for the steal and Sharp, or Mobo's trying to go for the block and Sharp ends up poking the ball away for a steal. Both of them combine with that really big defensive stop to give Sacramento the chance ultimately to win that game and not fall behind. So that was a massive play by them. Mobo is my kind of dude. This is a athlete that just flies around, blocks shots, gets steals, dunks the basketball. I know he needs to work on his offensive bag a little bit. That was one of the criticisms that he had when he was in Toronto. My dude had like 5 blocks and a couple of steals in game 1. He's everywhere.
He does bring an energy. He's good at setting like a tone out there. He's obviously a more experienced player on this team. He's has a little bit more years on him.
He's a veteran by summer league standards.
In a way, he's like Precious last year playing with the Bean Boys, right? When we were watching him out there. But I do agree with you. Really fun to watch defensively, obviously. A bigger guy. And just, like, you can't miss him. That's for sure. You know, Dylan brings his own kind of personality to the floor. Like Mobo definitely does as well. But they all kind of, what I liked about this team on Saturday specifically, is they all kind of brought parts of their game where you were like, okay, we could see like eventually like how these guys will come together.
Yeah. They brought what Doug Christie has been preaching. Now let's be honest. It's easier to get that out of players who are hungry to prove themselves because so much of defense is just effort. And it's also easier when you're defending other summer league players who are just trying to make a name for themselves, right? It's tougher to have 5 blocks when you're going against the A squads of the best NBA teams, right? So again, everything is, the joke is with Summer League, if your favorite player has a bad game in Summer League, it's Summer League, it doesn't matter. But if your favorite player has a great game in Summer League, then they're a future Hall of Famer and everything's great, right? That's the joke with Darius Acuff. But for someone like Mobo, you can see immediately, okay, this is why the Kings signed him to a 2-way deal. This is the impact that he can provide. You can imagine Doug Christie going to him at different times during the game. I need defense. I need hustle. I need energy. I need someone who's going to fly all over the place and protect the rim a little bit more and defend physically. Okay, I got Mobo. And the Kings have a number of guys now on this roster who Doug has in his arsenal, has at his beck and call. How he's going to incorporate them and how ready they're going to be to do what they can do at the NBA level, that's a major question mark that we'll have to wait and see because we're still talking about primarily end of bench and 2-way guys. But the hustle and energy that Mobo brought, the hustle and energy that I've seen Emmanuel Sharp bring, I really liked how Isaiah Stevens looked running the point for the Kings, and he's another one of their 2-way guys back for his second year, or I believe he's going to be back for his second year as a 2-way guy. Last night or yesterday was really encouraging. You see the identity at least on display on the floor with those guys in Summer League, and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see that.
No, absolutely. Now I want to do a little Kayla's notebook.
Okay.
Things that if you were there, only you could see. And Matt we were sitting next to each other, so we would go back and forth when we noticed little details happening. So first and foremost, obviously Scott, Perry, BJ, Armstrong, and Doug Christie were right there behind the basket.
Speaking of notebook, Doug Christie had a notebook.
So that's one of them. Matt caught him journaling.
He's journaling the entire time.
He was also, for majority of the game until the fourth quarter, sitting completely separate from BJ and Scott Perry.
He was locked in.
Completely separate. By the way, his legs take up like 2 chairs next to him. It's so funny. He's just such a big dude. So that was fun kind of watching them there on the floor. Nique Brown Jr. that was not playing that day. I gave him a lot of credit, though. Every time they huddled up in a timeout, man, that young man was in the huddle. He was directing the team, like you could see everything in terms of he was just so animated, and I loved that involvement, knowing he couldn't play.
He knows the Nets are his team to take if he wants to be that guy.
It was really fun to watch that because we were right above their bench, right? And then the third thing that Matt and I both were talking about after the half was Darius Acuff Jr. changed his shoes.
Yeah.
And he switched from the black low tops to I think like an orangey red.
Bright orange.
I don't know what the brand was. And I didn't get in time to ask in the presser, but I really, truly wanted to know because this is a process when they're so young, what they're experimenting with. I didn't get my question in. I did text Coach V. Coach V said he's trying out as much as he can in terms of getting what's the most comfort for him and what's going to, so maybe we'll see him experiment even more if he plays tonight. But it's always interesting.
I was wondering if it was like a superstitious thing.
Sure.
Man, I shot like you know what in these shoes. I'm changing shoes.
Yeah.
And he's unfortunately still continued to shoot poorly, but he had a much better second half than he had a first half in general offensively. A lot of it was because he was getting down and getting to the basket. But yeah, like Doug's sitting there by himself, journal in his lap, and every other minute I'm looking over there and he's opening the journal up and writing something down.
Yeah.
Like but we got to work very briefly. I never got to work with him on a show, but Jason Ross can attest to this and Jay Johnson can attest to this. Like, this is a guy that when he was working even in radio, meticulously preps. When he was doing broadcasting, meticulously preps. Like, this is just his process, right? He talks about he never gets any sleep because he's watching film all the time and just never stops working. Like, Doug is so hungry to fix this and get it right. And you can't overwork yourself, of course. But there he is just sitting, again, by himself, like 2 chairs away from everybody else, but still kind of in his zone, locked into the game. Yeah. And you'd see, Emmanuel Sharp did something. Oh, writing down a note. Mobo did something. Writing down a note. And I don't know what he's writing down, but it might be, I hope he's putting exclamation points next to Mobo's name with some of the plays that Mobo was making.
Stars.
But also, you had Scott Perry that's sitting there watching, taking everything in, B.J. Armstrong there with him. And there's Keegan Murray. Yeah. And there's Daquan Plowden, right? And it's just cool to see, especially Keegan, right? Keegan's the most seasoned member of the Sacramento Kings, which is crazy to think because we still look at him as the kid that joined the Beam team, but he's not anymore. He's in his prime in terms of age. He's not a kid at all. But Keegan knows the stakes. Keegan understands. He's now being paid, like, at the very least, a starter on a good team. He's got to start playing like it. So I'm sure Keegan's putting in a ton of work himself. But the fact that he was there at the rookie press conference because he just got out of doing a workout, I would not be surprised at all if Keegan Murray is practicing and working out with the Summer League team, or at least the California Classic team. They have their Summer League training camp essentially all of this week after tonight's game to prepare for Las Vegas Summer League, which starts next week or this coming weekend. I don't know if Keegan's going down to Vegas with them. It wouldn't shock me at all. Like, Keegan is obviously very present. He's working on his game. And I think that matters not just to his teammates who he's familiar with, like Dylan and Max, who's going to be back with the team after he's done in France, and Nique Clifford. But that should matter to Acuff. And that should matter to those two-way guys that are saying, here's a guy that just got paid and he's here working like he's still in Summer League.
It's huge. I think it's huge because Keegan is more so a vet on this team now. I know we're still stuck in that, especially because he didn't really play last year. Seemed like a forgotten year in a way. But it is so big to have that presence, and you're exactly right, for those young, the young rookies, especially Acuff, just to also be like, I'm going out of my way to incorporate myself with you guys because we're going to be the future of this Kings squad. And to have him around, to have the support, to have him there for questions. Because we don't know what's happening after these games immediately. I mean, if he's available and he's around, I would be a young guy that would go to him and be like, so what do you think about this? Or what? I would pick his brain.
It's weird to think of Keegan as like a vet that might take a rookie under his wing because Keegan is so quiet, but
I think
maybe he's taking that role on.
I think he would.
Maybe
he would.
Darius Acuff Jr. is quiet. Maybe Keegan's the right kind of guy for him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with that. We still have so much from the Kings, the Summer League, the California Classic to talk about today. But since we signed off on Wednesday, a lot has happened in the NBA, including the blockbuster Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia trade. And I'm seeing there was a lot of conversation over the weekend around that trade that really pissed me off. And I'll explain that and more when we come back. It's Matt and Kayla here, back with you on a Monday, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Welcome to your Monday. Stepping out to the cooling Delta breeze. We feel that across the valley this morning. So we head into the afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies, light southwesterly winds, and temperatures peaking in the upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Whether it's date night, family night, or buddy night, Hagen Oaks has a bay for you. Reserve one of 3 Top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. through HagenOaks.com, and only those 3 bays are reservable. The rest of the driving range is still open for walk-ups. Play golf on world-famous courses while the kids try interactive games. Head to the Hangout for great food, cold drinks, and live sports on the TVs. Add monthly live music and putting tournaments, and you've got more than a driving range, you've got a night out. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Swing by and swing away.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the match day spread. He's reaching for the Buffalo wing. Perfect! Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! Incredible! What a finish! Sensational combination! Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Carmichael Dave here. So proud to talk about my new friends at Pest Pros, where they are family owned, they are locally rooted, and they are committed to serving Northern California. I got a mouse problem at my house, and I don't like mice. I got a cockroach problem at my house, and I don't like cockroaches. That's a real thing. You're going to get pest protection somewhere. Why not get it at a place that is locally owned and operated? Longtime Kings fans and partners, and the community, you've spoken. They're back-to-back Sacramento favorites. So if you got pest control, you don't have Pest Pros. Step up to the pros with their all-star lineup. Don't just make the call, make the right call. Go to pestprosps.com. Sacramento grown, family owned, or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345. Step up to the pros at Pest Pros.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
The NBA sure didn't slow down during the holiday weekend, although Shams did go quiet for a little bit. Now we do have more free agency moves happening. The main ones today are Rui Hachimura going from the LA Lakers to the LA Clippers, going from the big brother to little brother, but the worse arena to the nicer arena. So good for Rui Hachimura. The Giannis Antetokounmpo trade became official today, although we've known about that for a while. The Warriors might be losing, Quentin Post?
Yeah.
He apparently got an offer sheet from the Memphis Grizzlies that might be a little too steep of a price for the Warriors to match, but we'll see what they decide to do with that. But the big thing that happened, the big news in the NBA this quote-unquote weekend, it was weekend for us. It broke during the Drive Guys on Wednesday after our show was done. And that's Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for essentially a
bag of Skittles.
They got Paul George. Good player.
Injured player.
Injured player, but good player.
And also the most complicated first-round pick I've ever seen in my entire life.
It really is.
And overall, a pick haul that to me does not reflect who Jaylen Brown is as a player.
Yep.
And especially after you see the haul of picks that Memphis got for Desmond Bane last year, and the amount of going all the way back to the Rudy Gobert trade, although everybody uses that as an example because that trade just broke and reset the NBA with how many picks the Minnesota Timberwolves sent to Utah in that deal. Either way, it was a haul that was, I felt, not great for. It was a very surprising trade from Brad Stevens, who is a general manager and president of basketball operations that everybody universally respects. Brad Stevens doesn't make bad moves. Brad Stevens doesn't do stuff like this. So what the hell happened? And I think naturally everybody's assumed, okay, things were probably not great in Boston. And we had kind of inklings of this. Not great in Boston to where they felt they just had to move on from Jaylen Brown for whatever value that they could potentially get. And that's when all the narratives started. That's where all this information started to get out, Kayla, of stuff like Colin Cowherd, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but congratulations to him. He's made a very successful career out of what he does. Colin Cowherd coming out on his show and saying, I had two NBA sources, two people in the league, one an executive, one a scout, say that Jaylen Brown it's a disease. He suddenly thinks he's the smartest guy in every room he's in. You make a lot of money. Suddenly you're absolutely sure you don't want to listen to your bosses. You don't want to listen to consultants. You don't want to listen to teammates. So that comes out from Colin Cowherd. And suddenly more and more starts to come out about Brown's character or Brown's Twitch streams or how he's felt about the Jason Tatum being the star dynamic, and all this stuff that just pisses me off. Now, on one hand, I am a fan of Jaylen Brown. I think he's a great story, and I've wanted Jaylen Brown on the Kings for years. I'm very glad that the Kings did not try and get involved in the Jaylen Brown sweepstakes because it makes no sense for them. But he's that type of player that I've really liked for Sacramento for a long time. But having Colin Cowherd go on, it's grown-ass men sharing gossip. That's when sports becomes TMZ, no disrespect. That's when sports becomes Love Island. It's just, to me, it's icky. It's weird. It's unnecessary to start attacking a player's character or starting to air out this dirty laundry. And it's especially bad if it's coming out of the Celtics organization in order for them to justify that they did not get a good haul for Jaylen Brown. Oh, we could only get Paul George in bad draft compensation because Jaylen Brown was so toxic here in X, Y, and Z. Stop trying to save face. It's a bad deal. You traded away a star player and did not get an adequate return because there was no market for him. Even the Bucks decided we're going to go with the Heat deal over you.
Yeah, I think part of it, I'll go to both sides because I have an opinion about both. So I do believe the Celtics missed out on the prime opportunity to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo and to get more value for Jaylen Brown. Mm-hmm. They flat out missed the bus on that.
Yep.
I think they came to the bus stop late on it. Miami was obviously in the mix for Giannis longer, but I felt like Boston had the momentum and then completely lost it.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what happened. And I just don't think there were other teams willing to give up whatever haul, they were asking for Jalen at that point. But I do believe it had gotten so toxic there that they knew if we don't trade him now, it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
And so I don't like the trade. I don't think they got enough for Jaylen Brown. Look, I know Paul George is a good player when healthy, but that's the problem, when healthy. So they deserve all the criticism about this trade and not getting enough for him. Now, do I believe that there is something to maybe Jaylen Brown being the smartest guy in the room? Because guess what, folks? He is hella smart.
Well, he's got an ego.
The veteran is smart.
Yeah.
This is a very cerebral guy. I think sometimes to his fault, because he does kind of say what's on his mind, and that doesn't always sit well with people who aren't that way.
Rajon Rondo is the same way.
Rajon Rondo is you're exactly right, the same way. It doesn't sit well with everybody, especially players, teammates, people that are in organizations that want to be the smartest people in the room and know they probably aren't when Jaylen Brown speaks. And look, podcasts, as much as I like them, y'all, they don't do a service to everyone. Not everybody, not every player in the league, when they come out and want to speak their minds immediately after a season, it doesn't always sit well because they don't always sit and digest it right away, which some of them should do. Now, for people to come out and pile it on Jaylen and try to tarnish his name, that he's not a good person, I don't believe any of that crap.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of it. I do believe, I saw something here, how he's going to be still doing stuff in the community in Boston. He's still going to be involved in the community.
Sounds like he's still very connected there.
I see both sides in terms of, sometimes I think he can be the smartest guy in the room to fault, but you can't be going out there and then just tarnishing his name just because we want to make the Celtics look good.
I'm not going to pretend Jaylen Brown was perfect in this entire situation at all. I know he's got an ego. All these guys have egos. I've seen some of the things that he said in his streams. I've seen him complaining after the Celtics were eliminated in the playoffs, and I recognize, it's not a very good look. In general, though, you have now all of a sudden analytics people coming out of the woodworks anonymously saying, he's the seventh best player on a team.
Now that's weird.
Just this garbage that's coming out about a player who's a finals MVP who won a championship in Boston. The Celtics were written off before the season started because Jason Tatum was out for the entire year, or was supposed to be. And Jaylen Brown had that team relevant and was playing the best basketball of his career for a very large portion of this season. And people I just think it's low-hanging fruit. I think it's lame because, look, I can only speak from my situation or my experience. Working in media, you hear a lot of gossip about players. You hear a lot of gossip about people. It's it's gossip. We're humans. It's natural. We talk ish. We hear ish. It just is what it is, right? So I've heard plenty of gossip throughout my time about a plethora of different players that have come through Sacramento. Doesn't mean I'm running to turn on a microphone and turn on a podcast to start gossiping about this stuff that I heard from a friend of a source of a blah, 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 about how this person might be behind closed doors. It's dumb to me. It's going after a player unnecessarily, going after who they are as a person to justify a bad trade by the Boston Celtics, who also mishandled this entire situation. It's been brewing for years with the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown dynamic. They won a championship to put a Band-Aid on it to make themselves feel better, and you can't take that away from anybody. But in general, the Boston Celtics failed here. Jaylen Brown, to a certain extent, failed here. And the Celtics got a bad haul for a really, really good player who's now joining a Philadelphia 76ers team that it wouldn't shock me at all if that team's better than the Boston Celtics next year. And you best believe Jaylen Brown's going to be fired up.
And by the way, they're now, and I don't think this is going to happen, they're now one of the names being brought up for LeBron James going to. That popped into the picture. While I believe he's going to the Cavs, that is one of the newer teams that is shown interest with whatever they're trying to do here moving forward. Look, smart on Philly too, man. You're getting a great player, and there were already so many questions about what were you going to do with Paul George? Like what? Like he just wasn't doing what they needed him to do, because he couldn't stay healthy. So good for them. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And you got a great player out of it.
We'll talk more about the LeBron James stuff, too, because he's narrowing down his list. Carmichael Dave thinks he's going to the Warriors, or says he's hearing rumblings that he's going to the Warriors. And I think it was Jake Fisher that says the Cavaliers are the leader. Who knows with LeBron James? It's ultimately up to him. We'll talk about that and more coming up. But next, it's Q&K on a Monday. Kayla Anderson's got it for us here right on Sactown Sports.
After a promising finish to the 2025 season, the Kings have signed Precious Achiuwa to a new deal that keeps him in Sacramento for the next 2 seasons. With a strong defensive presence and a versatile skill set, what role will the 26-year-old forward play in a crowded young front court?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Wow, what is all this? These screens, the food.
All for the game, bro.
Let us pitch in.
No need. I'm saving $1,000 bundling my wife.
It's time for Q&K. Kayla's got questions. We've got answers. It's Q&K on Matt and Kayla.
Q&K time with Kayla Anderson. What does she have up her sleeve? We never know. Kayla, What you got for us on this Monday?
So, there we go. We've got NBA Summer League coming up here. I think we actually technically start
I think it's Thursday or
yeah.
Friday or something like that.
And then our whole crew will be out there. The Drive guys, all the digital guys, obviously Jason Ross, because he's part of the broadcast.
Yep.
He will be out there. We'll be holding things down here at the studio. But it's going to be a lot of excitement. So Dave McMiniman of ESPN had tweeted out kind of his thoughts on the recent experimentation rules that were going to be being held down there at the NBA Summer League. He loves it. He says it's a perfect testing ground, but if the league has any intention of bringing this one free throw change to the big show, the competition committee better put the kibosh on it immediately. What do you think of experimenting down there, and do you feel like any of those things stick?
I think it makes sense for the Summer League to ultimately save time because, look, we want to keep these games moving. And reverse shout out to the officiating team last night in the
reverse shout out.
Yeah, reverse shout out. And by reverse shout out, I mean, what the hell are you doing? They called 1,000 freaking fouls. Every little ticky-tack call.
That.
Now, I understand, one, the officials are in Summer League as well. And number two, like, you want players to know that the game's called a certain way and hand checks are going to get called and stuff like that. The whole purpose of Summer League is for developing players, and you can't let players develop and figure things out if you're stopping play every 15 freaking seconds. Sorry, that's a tangent I got on. That being said, I do like for Summer League, hey, 1 for 2 kind of speeds up the game a little bit more and keeps us moving. I think that now they do in the final 2 minutes, by the way, go to traditional. You have to make both free throws and stuff like that when it matters down the stretch. I guess this is old-fashioned, get off my lawn of me. I do not like the idea of them implementing this during a actual NBA regular season and certainly playoff game and anything like that. I think it's really bad, too, for bad free throw shooters. You would think, oh, all they have to do is make one and they get both points. Yeah, but a lot of bad free throw shooters will miss the first one and then get the feel for it and a lot of times make the second because they've now taken a look at it.
Exactly.
Like Dylan Cardwell, bless his heart.
A little rough.
He went like 0 of 5 from the foul line to start game one, and then he finally, I think, made a free throw on his 6th. But like Dylan's someone that typically you'll see him miss the first and then work his way through and get the feel for the second. So I think it's, in general, I'm not a big fan of it other than it speeds up a Summer League game.
I'm with you on that.
Man, Dylan Cardwell really just is Mitchell Robinson, man. That seems to be.
Hey, champion. I'll take it.
Yeah? No, I've noticed Mitchell Robinson's had a 10-year career, man.
I feel like free throws are like something you could work on in your career.
Well, yes, you
but like sometimes I just think
it's all a mental
mind
thing. Like
yeah.
Shaq used to shoot 90% in practice.
So weird.
It was just when he got in the games, he just couldn't hit it like he used to. Which is also why the finals game where Giannis went like 20 for 21 at the free throw line is also insane, but that's another side tangent. From what I understand, they already do this in the G League, I believe.
You're right. Yeah.
The one free throw thing has been there for a bit, but I feel like this is just more to establish the point I've made for years, which is the Summer League is just glorified G League. And the fact that everyone gets so excited about the glorified G League, I think is a brilliant marketing strategy by the NBA over the years. Because they're getting like a multi-million-dollar contract with ESPN to broadcast Summer League games.
Well, I get it because for NBA fans who are starved of stuff in the summer and, you know, we can only watch so many baseball games every night, it gives people a reason to come and get excited about your young rookies, especially if you had a high draft pick and you're going, I know Vegas is you can't do it more than 3 nights, believe me. We all have probably experienced that. But it is something that's fun to be like, oh, go down to Vegas. By the way, we could bump into this person, that person. A lot of these players, these vets, go to some of the games because they also look at it as a reason just to go to Vegas.
It's a basketball festival.
It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's a basketball festival in Vegas, but it capitalizes on 2 major areas. One, there are teams like the Sacramento Kings who haven't played since early April. So it's been months since we've seen the Kings play. So it's like, yeah, we'll just take Kings basketball being back for a short period of time. We're excited about that. And number two is, like you talked about, when you have, and this is a super polarizing draft class, but even on years that there's not the most polarizing draft classes, but hey, the number 1 overall pick is taking on the number 2 overall pick in Las Vegas. Hell yeah, man, I'm going to turn it on and watch it.
Which is why they always schedule that now.
Of course.
Even if that player doesn't. But like, I think the Kings' first game is on national TV because it's against the Clippers.
Yes.
So it's Keaton Wagler versus Darius Acuff.
Right.
Sure.
No, they're very intentional about how it's like Christmas Day schedules, but in Summer League, they're very intentional with what they do. So it makes perfect sense. But yeah, it is glorified G League basketball.
Yeah, which is kind of, I do think, to the point about the rule itself, I think eventually this is going to be in the NBA. It's not going to be 5 years from now. Maybe it's 10 years from now. But one of the biggest complaints people always say, there's too many three-pointers and there's too many free throws. And the reason that's the case is that if you look at the analytics and the math, which I got to hit myself with.
Yeah.
Those are the most valuable shots in the league. The free throw, the layup, and the corner three. So you either have to change the dimensions of the court or change the math around the point value system.
Sure.
And I would imagine that, like you were talking about with the people sometimes have to adjust. Like, this is not going to affect Steph Curry, but for the middle-of-the-road free throw shooters, this is probably going to affect their percentages, which means the free throw is going to become less valuable by a little bit, and the game will be faster. So I do think they will eventually put this in the NBA.
I know Brendan brought this up when you guys were out, whatever week that was. I don't know what week it is anymore. 2 weeks ago? At this point, I don't even know what week it is. He said that it is going to be cool, too, because the Kings are playing all of their games, all 4, I believe, in the main gym.
Yes, Thomas and Mack Center.
Which is great. Like, because that's clearly there's a lot of matchups that are intriguing, but it's going to be more people, more eyes on them.
Of course, when you have a Summer League dynasty.
The Thomas and Mack Center is definitely the bigger of the venues. The Cox Pavilion, though, is dope.
Is it just like more intimate?
It's much smaller, more intimate.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed watching games in the Cox Pavilion.
I'm sure it's cool.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy Summer League in general as long as I'm, again, out there after 3 days.
The Cox Pavilion is, I think, where they do the WAC or the big wet or.
The Pac-12 does their tournaments down in Vegas, too.
Yeah. It's either the West Coast Conference or the WAC. One of those.
It's the
do
WAC,
it in
I
there.
think. Yep.
It's pretty cool. But, yeah. When the Kings have, what is it? The Kings and the Cavs are the Summer League dynasty, the only ones who have won it multiple times.
Yes.
Oh, is the Cavs the other one?
Well, they're both two-time. Okay.
Or it's
Or is it the
Portland?
Bulls? Oh, no, it might be Portland.
Maybe it's Portland. But anyways, there's only 2 teams that have won multiple Summer League titles, and
That's
the Kings are the only one that's won 3, I think?
No, I don't think the Kings have won 3. They win.
No, they lost to Charlotte.
They lost last year.
Yes, they lost in the championship game. That would have been 3.
We got revenge. Revenge on the mind.
on
We
the
want our
mind.
three-peat. Yeah. Led by Darius Acuff freaking Jr.
That's
taking
right.
90
Let's go,
shots in a game.
DA.
Shoot them all. Let it fly. Yeah, that's Q&K with Kayla Anderson. We'll take the break. When we come back, if anything has been apparent from these California Classic games so far, it's that Scott Perry is giving Doug Christie what he wants. But now Doug has a lot of work to do with what he wants. We'll discuss that and more when we return, plus a controversial World Cup date. And we're going to be joined by Nick Agar Johnson, who works for No Ceilings, but he's Sacramento-based, been a Kings fan for a long time, and he's been at the California Classic watching all these rookies in action. We'll have him join us at noon. It's Matt and Kayla on a Monday after a holiday weekend on Sactown Sports.
The top young talent in the NBA is headed to Sacramento this summer for the 8th annual California Classic presented by Ticketmaster. The Kings will host the Milwaukee Bucks, Brooklyn Nets, and Golden State Warriors in a preseason showcase that's sure to bring more fireworks to your 4th of July weekend. 3-day general admission passes for July 4th, 5th, and 6th are available now. Visit kings.com/California Classic for details.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Anova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see, the new Anova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at AnovaCabinetStone.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today. Visit therollingstoneschop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
You know, it always freaks me out when, like, our phones listen to what we're talking about, and then, you just see it appears, especially when you're like, hey, this product is kind of cool. Bang, there it is on sale.
It is
right
weird.
in front of you. But especially that last part, your phone will know when you're trying to budget or you're like, or when they're like, oh, but here's this brand new thing that you probably don't need at all, but you kind of want because it's cool and it's $60 and you have to ask your wife for permission. It's all golf stuff for me. It's just like, here's this cool simulator thing that you don't need.
You're like, back off. I'm trying to budget.
It's like, stop it, world.
Come on.
I had to buy a new headphone cord for my headphones at home because my adorable new freaking kitten chewed the cord to smithereens, the little jack.
They will do that. That's what puppies and kitties do. They like to tear up stuff.
This little guy is the most obnoxious cat I've ever had in my life.
He's got a lot of energy.
He's got a lot of energy and he just screams.
Yeah, that
yeller.
Makes sense. You did grab your son as you were walking by.
Well, he matches my son too, because all my son does is have a lot of energy and scream.
Now you got both of them.
Great. Boone and Artie. Just when I
That's
need.
it. That should be a book.
Boone and Artie. I did take Artie to his first California Classic game yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed taking him. It's just a cool dad experience to be able to take my kid to a Kings game, which, very small backstory about me. I grew up essentially without a dad. My mom and dad divorced when I was very, very young. My dad, let's put it this way. I've seen my dad maybe 3 times in the last 20 years. Like and we're cool. He's just not that. He's just not a present dad.
Yeah.
So my uncle was a Kings season ticket holder, and he's the one that I blame him because he got me obsessed with the Kings, and he took me to games when I was a kid during the glory eras of Kings basketball in the late 90s and early 2000s. So he would take me to games all the time. And my mom would take me too. So it was always very important and special to me to be able to go to games with them. So we've always been waiting, like, when are we going to take Artie to his first game? Because Artie doesn't sit still. He's like a dog. I'm going to run down to the court and play with the basketball, not sit here and watch other people.
He wasn't bad at the baseball game.
No, he did baseball
I was
he
impressed.
loves. He loves baseball games because he just watches the cotton candy vendor until he gets to us and then loads up on cotton candy.
Then played I Spy with me for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
He did get a little bit bored at times at the Kings game. He was very confused about like how much time was left in the game, and explaining a clock to a 5-year-old is like explaining like the periodic table to me.
Yeah, they don't care about time.
Yeah, no, they don't.
But it's also different than a normal basketball game too, which is confusing.
Yeah. But he had a good time. The energy was great there. And shout out, so many people got the chance. I mean, we had people come up to us when we were there saying they listened to the show.
We've got people in the YouTube chat that came up and said hi to us. That's always fun.
I sat next to a couple of guys. One of them, Emmanuel, sat next to me. He introduced himself at the game yesterday. It was really cool to meet them. It's just a really fun environment. So if you have the opportunity and the means, of course, to be able to go to tonight's California Classic finale, 7 o'clock, Kings Bucks, highly encourage you to do it. We don't know who's going to be playing. So if you're sitting there waiting to find out, am I going to be paying to see Acuff or am I going to be paying to see like G Leaguers? I don't have the answer to that question. We don't know. We tried to figure out, or I shouldn't say we, I was there as a fan yesterday. The actual working media, my colleagues, we're trying to figure out answers to that, and we didn't get any clear answers. So we don't know who's going to be playing and who's not going to be playing tonight for the Sacramento Kings. But if you like basketball and you just want to be in the Golden One Center amongst fellow Kings fans and watch guys who are working hard, hustling, especially there's a number of Kings players. Like if you want to fall in love with Jonathan Mobo like I have, go to the games and check them out. They're a lot of fun, and I will be there tonight along with a number of Kings media members. So if you want to come through, we'd love to see you and enjoy the last day of the California Classic. Kings going for the Cali Classic title, the 3-0 Cali Classic record tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. So looking forward to that tonight at 7 p.m. But Kayla, like we talked about in the first hour to start the show, we're seeing a lot of players on this California Classic roster, players that are two-way guys or end-of-bench guys, like guys that are going to probably make the roster, consistently fitting the categories of what Doug Christie's been asking for. We're seeing hustle on the defensive end. We're seeing energy. We're seeing athleticism. We're seeing grit. Scott Perry is very much, at least on the back end of his roster, giving Doug Christie what he's been asking for, giving Doug Christie the 6 pillars and the standard, as Doug Christie likes to talk about. But I think it's interesting that a lot of these guys are two-way guys, and a lot of these guys are second-round picks, guys that, of course, are going to have to work their ass off to stay in the league, but guys that Doug Christie will also have to work with and develop like he did Nique and Max and Dylan last season. It's going to be an interesting test for Doug.
It really is. I'm curious as how this is all going to play out this next season, because we've spoke about it several times, as the season came to an end, giving our flowers to Doug for the fact that he did help develop some of this youth. You do have to give him credit for that. There were other things that we need to see from him, and Scott Perry has come out too and said, Doug is also growing as a coach.
Right.
He's working on things, hence probably why he has a notebook right now, sitting courtside at the California Classic, jotting down things that he likes, that he sees that maybe he wants to change up once the season comes around from some of these young guys. But I think it's also, as much as it is experience for these rookies and these second-year players to be there and to be working on their game, it is also getting that experience for Doug and continuing to try to maximize what he is going to do next year as a head coach, because he has to, right? Like his job depends on it. But I do think he has in his corner, I think what he has going for him is there is a lot of young player development going to be taking place this next year. And there is not this standard of like, we have to be this playoff team. It is what it is. And yes, there are still vets on this team, but he has plenty of youth now to start to mold and to start to be like, okay, I am responsible for this. Now, we'll see if that amounts to him getting a new contract, but I think it's a critical year for him. But I think it's also, there's a lot of stuff in his favor if it goes right.
The Kings went into last season with an extremely vet-heavy roster.
Yeah.
Right. We knew what the starting five.
Sense.
What the starting five was supposed to be. It never actually happened, but the starting five was supposed to be Dennis Schroeder, vet, DeMar DeRozan, vet, Zach LaVine, vet. Keegan Murray was kind of like the young guy in the group, although he's entering kind of his prime, and Domantas Sabonis, vet. And then you had Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, right? Like this was a very vet-laden team. And when the Kings were terrible and dealing with injuries, to be fair, but terrible, and they pivoted to, we got to incorporate the youth. You're talking about incorporating 3 guys, really, in Nique, in Max, and in Dylan. Like, that's a very small, and I guess you can kind of throw Devin Carter into that mix, who hadn't really gotten a fair shake at that point. But you're trying to incorporate a small portion of the roster. Now, again, we don't know what the roster is going to look like in training camp and who's going to make the final roster and who's not. And we know the two-way spots, or we believe we know the two-way spots. And I don't think the Kings drafted Emmanuel Sharp to not have him make the roster. He's going to make the roster, in my opinion. Now you have a majority of this roster featuring guys that, again, kind of fit the vision of what Doug Christie and Scott Perry say they want the Sacramento Kings to be. And we experienced this at the end of last season, right?
Yeah.
When those, especially Dylan Cardwell and Max, and those young guys were playing well, there was an energy, there was an excitement. You got to, I mean, you can speak to it firsthand, you being at the Pelicans win.
That was awesome.
When Dylan blocked Zion twice to win the game, right? The fans responded to that. So part of me is watching the California Classic. Again, it's Summer League, but I'm watching the California Classic going, they played pretty much with the same hustle on the defensive end for, I'd say 48 minutes, but it's really 40 minutes because it's a shortened game. If that could be what the standard is, or the baseline is, expectation of fans for next season, fans can get behind that. But the biggest challenge for Doug is going to be, but you can't ignore Zach, DeMar, Malik, these guys that are going to be on the roster that you can't just waste. So how does he find that balance?
That's what it is. It is the balance, and he has a year under his belt now as a full-time head coach to be like, this is what I liked when we were playing a lot of the vets together, and this is what I really didn't like, and this is what didn't work. Like, respectfully, I don't want to hear logjam. I don't want to hear the same things that we heard time and time again. Those things have to, and I don't think that should be a problem, but have to be fixed. I know you cannot completely change a veteran player. That is one thing why it did not work last year. For Doug's type of coaching, which is in my eyes more of like you want to mold players. Yeah. And it's easier for a coach like him who's set in his ways too. Doug is he was a particular player. He's a particular coach.
Yep.
He wants to be able to mold these young guys, which that is the benefit. There are a lot more of those guys that are going to be on this team. However, you're right. You still do have some of those veteran contracts you're probably not going to be able to get off of this year. They still have to be able to be pieces that work within this young team. So that is the task for Doug, and that is the challenge for Doug. And that's what I'm so intrigued in terms of seeing. Because yes, you have Keegan here that's here and incorporating himself with the youth, but it's not like we've seen Domantas Sabonis. We haven't seen Zach LaVine around. We're not going to see them till training camp. So it's like, what will that look like? How will that fit? It's very, very interesting.
I have this vision in my brain of like, there's a classic corkboard, conspiracy theorist corkboard up in Doug Christie's office. Yeah, bring corkboards back.
Old school.
And he's got balls of yarn that connect different,
like FBI or
detectives like it's
do?
Old school, and he's sitting there agonizing over how do I incorporate the different aspects of this roster. Because think about it, like Zach LaVine is more than likely going to be here. Domantas Sabonis, I would just expect, is more than likely going to be here. Those are two guys that, in theory, day one should start and are going to have the ball in their hands at least for a decent amount. Darius Acuff Jr. clearly needs the ball in his hands. That's what you drafted him for. He's that superpower. So you have to incorporate that while developing a rookie. You have year 2 of Nique, Dylan, and Max, where you want to build upon the momentum that you established with them last season at a time where arguably you should have been losing games, but you chose not to focus on their development. Okay, so you want to continue that momentum and not halt that momentum with the other guys. So connect that ball of yarn in a way that makes sense. Oh, you've got Keegan Murray here, who's in and out of the lineup, but is now in his first year of a big contract and has been trying to figure out what the hell happened to his three-point shot for 2 years. Okay, we need to figure him out. And what is he? How does he fit in the offense? Do we take some of the pressure off of him defensively? Oh, there's another line connecting Keegan Murray to DeAndre Hunter, who we got to see for a game and a half because he became a pirate with an eye patch on because he got his eye scratched. What does DeAndre Hunter look like? He's an expiring deal. Do we have something here because we traded Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder for him? So you connect that ball of yarn. Like it's a mess, a tangle of how do I figure out the way to balance this roster? And the funny part is, if he were to optimize this roster perfectly, they're probably still like a 38-win team.
Yeah.
They're not good.
That's the realization, but we can't criticize the roster right now in terms of what it is because it is a work in progress. And yes, you can say, well, Scott Perry needs to get off these heavy contracts. He's working on it.
Yeah.
Mark our words. He is working on it.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying his damnedest to move chess pieces that like cannot be pretty much moved because no one's interested in it, right? However, it's like, again, Doug is going to be judged on what he does this year.
Yes.
And there has to be some different outcomes or, things in terms of the lineups or like how he's playing players and what, like that kind of basic stuff, the X's and O's, like we have to see better from that. And I think we will, because he has more to work with on what he wants to work with, but it's going to take time. And Scott's come out and said that.
Yeah.
Scott's come out and said firsthand, it's going to be a 3-4 year process. I don't know if it'll be 4 years. I think it could be sooner if he continues to draft well, but we got to see if that actually comes into fruition with these picks.
Right.
But, this is what it is. We know what it is now. We can't expect a lot right now.
Scott has been very clear. Scott Perry's been very clear that, like, last season was an evaluation season. But really, he was also in season very clear. And I remember putting out a podcast very, very soon before I came over to Sactown Sports. One of my last Locked On Kings podcasts was, like, I found out what the Sacramento Kings plan is, and this was it. And the first phase of that plan, which was the first 3 months or like 2 months of the season, 35, 40 games or whatever, was that evaluation period to see what you have.
Yeah.
It disgusts me, the idea that we're going to spend another half of this season evaluating. Like, I think we all see what you got, right? But I do wonder if there is going to be a point of no return moment in this season to where, unlike last year, I think the Kings are naturally going to incorporate more young guys from the jump because they have to, and Scott's kind of forming that roster in that way. But will there be a point 40 games in? Let's say Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis are both starting and playing 30 minutes a night. If game 40 rolls around and we're getting close to the All-Star break and the Kings are 10-30, like, is that the point where you pull the lever just like you did last year, where Zach drops to 20 and Domas drops to 20 minutes, and you even consider moving one of them out of the starting lineup so that you can go again into this youth movement, future focus? Like, it's not as black and white as it was last year now, because the roster, again, is more intermingled with younger guys compared to just veterans. But so many of these veterans still are going to probably have to play from the jump. And I just wonder, is it the trade deadline and getting them out of here that is going to be the switch? Or does Doug Christie have the freedom to earlier in the year go, man, it ain't working with I'll use Zach as an example, and it's not fair, but Zach, it ain't working because you're not scoring and you're not playing defense. We're getting you out of there so that Nique Clifford could play more. I don't know. Can he go to that earlier?
I mean, that's the question. And while we don't have all the details behind what they decide to do, because here's the thing. You just mentioned it. Sabonis and Levine. Those are the two contracts that they want to move off of. There's no denying that. And DeMar DeRozan, and I know we'll talk about him later, he's probably not going to be on this roster to start the season. Let's hope. Right? They're either going to buy him out or they're going to trade him.
Just do it already.
Yeah, exactly.
DeMar wants them to do it.
Yeah, no, I know. And the move's going to be made.
We'll talk about that at 1.
Yeah, there's your little teaser. But the two biggies are Sabonis and Zach. And A, because of their contracts. B, I think that for the future of what this team is looking to do, they're not the fits.
Yeah. They're not Scott Perry's guys. Scott's building his guys.
So to start the year, in terms of what value can you get for them at the trade deadline? Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're going to start them. Now, minutes-wise, I don't know how that's going to break down, especially for Levine. I don't know how that's going to break down because I do think there has been a conversation, like we've always kind of guessed, between Scott Perry and Levine's camp of, hey, this could happen at any point where you're not going to be playing this many minutes. Because at some point we need to get some of these younger guys in.
Yeah.
From the start, maybe we see these guys in terms of Sabonis and Levine playing a lot. Mm-hmm. But what does it look like at that middle point? If they're not playing well, yeah, I mean, you start to get the young guys in. Yeah. And that is what it is, and you try to move them if you can. But it's still a rock and a hard place. With these two contracts, I'm still going to say it's not the easiest thing to maneuver. It really isn't.
Doug's rotation is, with what we think the roster is going to be going into training camp, which is DeMar gone, Zach and Domas still here. Doug's rotation is very much up in the air, but it's primarily the second unit. If that is the roster going into training camp, in my mind, 4 of your 5 starters are already set in permanent ink. Mm-hmm. Acuff starting at the 1, should be starting at the 1. Who else? Whoever the hell is.
I don't know. Whatever.
Russell Westbrook, baby.
Whatever point guard you sign, a vet point guard.
Well, and by the way, we're going to talk about that tomorrow because looking at the list of point guards, free agent point guards, not guards, point guards remaining. Yikes.
Just him and Tyus Jones
There's
again, right?
Not a lot of names right now.
Thick.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. It is not. But in my mind, Acuff should absolutely be a permanent day 1 starter. I don't care. Let him shoot 1,000 times. Let him, that's what you drafted him for. Let him fly. Zach LaVine, I think, is going to be a starter, regardless of if the Kings want him here or not, and if he wants to be here or not. I think Zach LaVine is a starter. Domantas Sabonis, in my mind, is a starter. Keegan Murray, as long as he's healthy, is a starter. That's what you're paying him for. That 5th spot, whether it's Precious or DeAndre Hunter or Maxime Reynaud, that's up to Doug Christie's game plan to figure out how he wants to incorporate that 5th starter. But in my mind, as of now, 4 out of the 5 starters are here, and 3 of them have been here going back to last season, how bad it was. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much right away Doug Christie can toy with that and tinker with that. Guys number 6 through 10 or 6 through 9 in the rotation, man, that's going to be open season. I can't wait to see with that.
But you just broke it down. It is a little more friendly in terms of him not having to deal with making veterans mad. I do believe last year with the amount of veterans, with the experience that was on this roster, and again, just didn't mesh well together. Mm-hmm. I think it was hard for Doug in his first year Doug's not a people pleaser. I'm not going to say that because Doug is set in his ways and Doug is particular. He's a particular personality, but he is also a player's coach in a way. This guy has played the game and he's played it well, and he's part of Sacramento's history and, community. Right. I don't think he wanted to come in here and push buttons right away. Mm-hmm. And I do think we saw that. It took a while for that communication to happen between him and the vets. I don't think that'll be an issue this year.
Yeah. Well, Doug's talked about how, as a head coach, you're not liked. And Doug is a player's coach, but he's not coming in here trying to be players' friends. Mm-hmm. However, I don't blame Doug for not kicking down the door in his first full head coaching job and going, DeMar, you're sitting, Zach, you're sitting, Russ, you're sitting.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done.
Sure.
Right? Easier said than done for all of us here in this chair. But I would hope that what we saw at the second half of last season, or how last season ended with how the Kings prioritized the development of the young guys, plus the reaffirmation, if that's a word, of Scott Perry in Doug Christie. Like the Kings standing behind Doug for another, and now you can scream from the hilltops if you want, Matt, they did it to save money. Okay, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. But ultimately, in Doug's mind, I coached for a year. It was a very bad year in which we lost 16 straight games and we only won 22. It was a bad, bad year. But I'm still around because the young guys like me and the direction that we're going. The Kings feel confident enough in Doug Christie being the first ever NBA head coach that Darius Acuff plays for. Think about that. There is a power and a massive responsibility in that. Scott Perry just attached his name to his future star in Darius Acuff Jr., and he's trusting Doug to be his first head coach for an organization that is notorious for having their young players play for 97 coaches like De'Aaron Fox did and like DeMarcus Cousins did. Like that matters.
I don't want to I know some people are out on Doug. I get everybody has thoughts on that. I'm not going to change your mind on that. That's his job. However, I don't want to see that for this organization. I've seen it in other organizations. You guys, it does not help anyone. It doesn't help anyone to have coaches go in and out in terms of these young players. It does stunt development because no matter what, you're bringing in a new coach that has their ways, that always will change something. And so for these young guys' sake, for the organization's sake, I hope Doug can be that guy and we can see that progression this year. Because I don't want to see him go and then another coach brought in and then, that's also, you're never guaranteed anything.
I want to address this comment really quick from Sean Maller in the YouTube comment section because I have no idea what you've been drinking this morning. He says, hold on. Last week you said Sabonis won't be on this team by game 1 and not starting for this team. Now you're saying Sabonis is a Kings starter. I don't know where you're getting that from. I think we were very clear with the Jalen Duren conversation that the Kings would like to move on from Domantas Sabonis in a Jalen Duren trade, but we always thought that was far-fetched. We said that and talked about that repeatedly on the air while this whole saga was going on. Number 2, I think Scott Perry, and it sounds like even Domantas Sabonis would like for him to be traded and for him to move on because I think that's ultimately where the Kings are going, freeing up the opportunity for Max and Dylan to get the minutes that I want them to get. But we've been consistent since the trade freaking deadline saying we don't expect that to happen, that I think Domantas Sabonis is going to be a part of this team. And while he's here, he's absolutely going to start. And it's been kind of the same conversation with Zach LaVine. So Sean, I know you're a regular and you certainly have your moments in the comment section. I don't know what you're talking about because we very much have been consistent with
the
that.
One thing that we've said on this show that maybe got skewed is that we thought if Zach LaVine comes back, which it looks like, well, obviously opted in, if he comes back and he's going to, what could his minutes look like?
Yes.
And we did have the discussion on, do you just send him home? And we were adamant on saying, no, we do not believe that. We believe he plays. If he's here, he plays.
Yeah.
And he does start, but what will his minutes look like?
Right.
Now, that is something we discussed.
Yeah.
But in terms of Sabonis, yeah, we've been consistent on we think the best thing is to get off of that contract and for him to go into a place that better suits him at this point.
Right.
But why wouldn't you start him if he's here? We've never said don't start him.
The Kings have been very consistent with they're looking to move on from him, but they're also not going to dump him for nothing because they view the talent. It's a very different conversation with Domantas Sabonis than it is with Zach LaVine, if we're being honest.
Oh, yeah.
Here. The Kings are trying to get off Zach LaVine's money. The Sacramento Kings would like to get off of Domantas Sabonis' money, but also get something back for a all-NBA caliber center who has value around the league. Like that's always been what that conversation is. We'll take the break. When we come back, a controversial World Cup date for you.
Dang.
Mexico versus England last night was awesome. USA is in action today. And
Norway!
Well, Norway got a big win as well over Brazil. We'll talk about that and more when we return. It's the World Cup date on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is taking over NBA Summer League. Join Jason Ross, Whitey Gleason, and Alan Stiles as they broadcast live from Las Vegas, July 13th through the 17th. Presented by Power Business Technology. Over the air, online, and on location, Sactown Sports 1140 is your eyes and ears for all things Sacramento Kings this summer.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer, and Associates.
When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust.
Along with my partner and associates, I have been helping accident survivors recover for their injuries for over 25 years.
And we can help you. There's no charge for calling, so please call us today.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
Remember when a driving range was just a driving range? Yeah, Hagen Oaks doesn't remember either. Reserve one of 3 top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. at HagenOaks.com. Only 3 bays are reservable, while the rest of the range remains open for walk-ups. Play virtual golf, then grab food, drinks, and a seat in front of the TVs at the hangout. Throw in live music, and suddenly your quick stop at the range turns into hours of fun. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Side effects may include laughter, bragging rights, and one friend insisting he would have won if the wind wasn't blowing.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Hi, this is Adam Johnson, owner of Golf Fitness Solutions. Exercise and golf have been 2 important activities in my life. I opened Golf Fitness Solutions in 2013 to help my fellow golf enthusiasts improve their posture, relieve their pain, gain strength and endurance, and most importantly, hit the ball farther. From beginners to professionals, I've had success working with all ages and all skill levels, and I can help you too. Located in Carmichael, call us at 916-802-5175 or go to golffitnesssolutions.com.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Anova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see, the new Anova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at AnovaCabinetStone.com.
Skeeter here, my card. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. I never met a Culex terrasalis I didn't want to smack. That's Latin for mosquito. Hey, it's time again to fight the bite. Time to protect yourself from West Nile virus by applying insect repellent. Once a week, drain stagnant water and report dirty green swimming pools. Ew. They're breeding grounds.
The Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite.
My card never gets old.
For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Hi, I'm Tim Meadows. You've heard the phrase out with the old and in with the new, right? Well, buckle up because Stand Up to Cancer's vehicle donation program makes it easy to turn your old vehicle into new life-saving cancer research. More than 2 million Americans hear the words, "You have cancer," each year. That's why Stand Up to Cancer is dedicated to funding cancer research focused on finding cures. Donating is easy, pickup is free, and your gift may qualify for a tax deduction. Visit standuptocancer.org/cars to learn more.
It's time for your Sactown Soccer Report. Powered by Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District.
This week's key matches include Portugal versus Spain, the United States versus Belgium, Switzerland versus Colombia, Argentina versus Egypt, and France versus Morocco.
In soccer, defense wins championships. At home, defense stops mosquitoes. Drain standing water. That's your backline. Dress with sleeves and defend with repellent. That's your keeper. Keep your doors and screens tight. That's your shutout. Sac Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District. More tips at fightthebite.net. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Even if you are not a soccer fan, I hope you are doing yourself the favor of paying attention to this World Cup because it's been awesome. It's been incredible. From Erling Haaland. If you're not familiar with this young man, you should be. Boy. The Viking himself. He's incredible. He scored again. Yeah. 2 goals, a brace to eliminate Brazil.
That was big.
Brazil is gone. Norway eliminating Brazil 2-1 in Neymar's last match with the Brazilian national team. He's retiring.
I heard him, and then Ronaldo this is his last World Cup.
Ronaldo's 41. We all knew.
I know, but I
Same
mean,
thing with Messi.
These are big names that are going to be playing for the last time in the World Cup.
These are titans of international soccer that are hanging it up. Probably.
My boys, Cape Verde, they were so close to putting out Messi.
That would have been an incredible upset.
They've been one of the best stories, period.
Really?
Just the run. Oh, yeah. The run that they went on.
No, that's what I'm saying. Really?
Yeah, it was the Cinderella story. I mean, it was
I didn't want to over-exaggerate it. It might have been the biggest win in the history of sports. Like, for that country to put out the defending champions with Messi's last World Cup. Oh, they were so close.
It would have been
so close.
Pretty amazing. Well, unfortunately for Mexico, their dream run came to an end last night. Once again, that round of 16. Yeah, that round of 16 gets them again. But the match with England last night was incredible. First off, Estadio Azteca is elite. Yeah. The atmosphere there is unbelievable. I wish, I am an atmosphere person. I want to go to a game to experience it live. And that might have been one of the coolest atmospheres that I've ever seen on television that I just wanted to be at. Mm-hmm. And they were treated to, many were calling it, the commentary team was calling it the match of the year. It started out slow. Mexico was dominating. All of a sudden, bang, bang, 2 quick goals by England to take a 2-0 lead. Mexico responds almost immediately to make it a 2-1 game, and they were just on the attack until halftime. England held on for halftime. There was a controversial red card that brought England down to 10 men. Then Harry Kane scored a penalty to make it 3-1. Then Mexico got a penalty, make it 3-2. Insane match, but Mexico unfortunately gets the L. England gets the 3-2 victory.
I think that we've got breaking news.
Oh,
Shams, and it's Kings.
Oh,
yep.
It is what we've been
Sorry,
waiting for.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I don't want to disregard it.
No, we need this.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
Sorry, Belogan.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
Just in from Shams Charania, the Sacramento Kings are waiving DeMar DeRozan, making the 6-time All-Star one of the top free agents now. Sources tell ESPN the sides work collaboratively, on this resolution after exploring trade routes. It's the right move.
It is.
The right move for DeMar DeRozan, the right move for the Sacramento Kings. And from what I understand, assuming, we haven't gotten the full details, but assuming this is the wave and stretch like we've heard about and talked about for weeks, this will put the Sacramento Kings under the first apron, which opens up the full mid-level exception. They've used about $6 million of it already in the deal for Precious Achiuwa. This also will, I believe, put them just under the luxury tax, which is what Scott Perry said he was going to do coming into this offseason. So it's the right thing. DeMar DeRozan can go and find a new home. I'm glad this is happening. I'm glad the Kings and DeRozan finally got it over with. Let him go, man. Let him go and move forward.
I want to make sure you can get to the final update with the cup date, but I do want to say it was an absolute pleasure covering DeMar DeRozan. And the one season I was here, I just thought he was a pro's pro. Mm-hmm. I thought he did everything you wanted him to do in terms of a team guy in the locker room. I think he was very good for the young guys. So I wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully he can find a team that will allow him to compete.
Yeah, so. DeMar he's obviously incredibly well respected in that locker room. He and Russell Westbrook were really the ones that carried the torch of, now a lot of it was out of necessity because everybody else was freaking hurt, but carried the torch of, okay, we have this change. We're shifting, the Kings shifting to a more youth focus and developing of the young guys, but those two guys continue to play. Now, there was a very significant period of time, felt a too long period of time, where two worlds were colliding, and you could see Russ and DeMar still wanted to be Russ and DeMar.
Yeah.
And at times I thought they were taking the ball out of the young guys' hands too much, and it was certainly frustrating for me to watch, and I know other fans felt the same type of way. But overall, DeMar DeRozan especially developed into this play through me, and I'm going to distribute first versus scoring type role. And DeMar has always been known as an incredible mid-range isolation scorer, and I think that's going to be a nice benefit for a playoff team, maybe the LA Clippers, maybe the Miami Heat. We don't know. It's going to be a nice benefit for a team to pick up because he's definitely not played his last basketball. But for where the Sacramento Kings are going, and even if we're being completely honest with you, this is not DeMar DeRozan's fault. But from the moment the Kings brought DeMar in and tried to incorporate his isolation scoring with the beam team's ball movement and playing through Domantas Sabonis, it just never worked.
It never worked. It was never probably the right fit when it comes down to it. But I do respect that towards the end with what Doug Christie and was trying to incorporate with this youth, like you did see more distribution with DeMar. He did seem to, do at least towards the end, again, what they were needing him to do to help develop the youth. By the way, can't say enough about the durability of this guy. I mean, talk about a player that I know he had a couple bumps and bruises towards the end, but man, a guy in terms of his age that's able to play that many games, that is also why teams will be like, we'll bring you in.
Shams provided a little more detail. I don't need to read the full thing because it's stuff we already know. But the last line of this is, to me, very interesting. Multiple contenders are expected to have interest in the veteran guard.
There you go.
I've always said, to me, DeMar DeRozan should be a mercenary. To a team, like we talked a lot about the Cleveland Cavaliers last season, a team that just needs a scoring punch off their bench and a steady, reliable bucket getter in a limited role. DeMar DeRozan is that mercenary. He's perfect. Simplify everything for him. DeMar, your job is to come off the bench and for 15 to 20 minutes a night, hey man, go get us buckets, make the right plays, and defensively we'll hopefully have enough around you to where it doesn't hurt us. Like that's the perfect role for DeMar at this point in his career. Miami checks that box. Detroit checks that box. I know the Clippers are interested in him, and he's interested in the Clippers because going home to LA. I don't know if the Lakers would also have interest in him, but there are teams out there. That's why we were so confused as to why doesn't he have any trade suitors at the trade deadline. It makes no sense. Well, it was because of his contract. Now that the contract is gone and teams can negotiate a vet minimum deal or slightly above a vet minimum deal for him, you'd best believe DeMar DeRozan's going to have a lot of suitors.
It's like the Bradley Beal thing last year where Bradley Beal's the worst contract in the NBA and nobody wants him. And then the Suns bought him out. And it's like Bradley Beal has 8 suitors who want to sign him.
Well, sure. I mean, money, especially in what we've talked about, the kind of the tightness in terms of that right now this past year in the NBA, it is now probably going to be a thing. We're going to see all these teams emerging. And I think this deal probably with another team gets done sooner than later because I think DeMar also has kind of something in mind with him being such a veteran player at this point in his career.
Bobby Marks provided a little more context. DeRozan's $25.7 million salary was only guaranteed for $10 million. We knew this. Sacramento has until the end of August to waive and stretch the amount over 3 seasons. The waiver would push Sacramento below both aprons.
Yep. Not a surprise.
Little financial. It's a smart financial move for the Kings, and it's also like there's a tremendous amount of respect on both sides for both sides. Like Scott Perry has a tremendous amount of respect for DeMar DeRozan and very much wants to do right by DeMar, even though he inherited DeMar. He was not responsible at all for bringing DeMar to Sacramento. That was a Monte McNair move. So I think it was also very important of Scott and the Kings to let DeMar go, for lack of a better term, so that he can find the maybe final chapter of his NBA career and ultimately play more meaningful basketball than likely the Sacramento Kings are going to be playing next season. But in general, the DeMar DeRozan era in Sacramento will be marred with frustration. DeMar talked about both years being very, very difficult, not what he expected. He said after the first season, there's never been anything like it in his career that he's experienced in Sacramento, and that was a lot of off-court drama.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, there was very little off-court drama because that team did a really good job staying together, but on the court, they were not good at all for a large portion of the year. So it ultimately doesn't work. It was still incredible to have DeMar here. The fact that DeMar played a couple seasons for the Kings is awesome. The moment of him coming out in Summer League was a really, really cool moment. And I very much enjoyed, even though there were certainly frustrating times, I very much enjoy the limited opportunities that I got to be able to interview him and talk with him and do press conferences with him and things like that. He's a total pro, and there's a reason why he's so well respected around the league, and he is a champion for mental health in professional sports, which is incredibly important. So go read his book.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get back to DeMar DeRozan and talk more about DeMar DeRozan at 1 o'clock. Again, if you're just tuning in, breaking news, DeMar DeRozan has been waived by the Sacramento Kings, a move we all saw coming, freeing him up to choose his new home. That's one less veteran on the Kings roster and opens up a lot of financial flexibility for the Kings. Again, we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Thank you and shout out to DeMar DeRozan. But coming up next, it's time to pick a side. We'll also fill you in on all the controversy around Team USA and the World Cup when we can. Pick a side is next. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Like and subscribe to the Sactown Sports 1140 YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140 to get the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt and Kayla, and the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on demand and at your fingertips. Get your fix of the Sacramento Kings, 49ers, Giants, Athletics, NFL, NBA, and the latest in sports and entertainment all in one place at Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today. Visit therollingstonesshop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
It's the 4th of July Sell-A-Thon at Folsom Lake Ford with employee pricing, plus 2.9% financing, plus $1,000 trade assistance on select new Fords. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford today. FolsomLakeFord.com. On approval of credit, see dealer for details.
Pick a side, any side. It's time for Pick a Side on Matt and Kayla.
If you are just tuning in, we had breaking news from Shams Charania of ESPN. DeMar DeRozan is no longer a Sacramento King. The move that we saw coming. DeMar has been waived, so he will be free to choose his next home, and Shams is saying that there are a number of contenders very interested in his services. Not surprising at all. And the move financially for the Sacramento Kings, assuming they waive and stretch him, will put them in a much better financial position under both aprons and, I believe, just under that luxury tax line. So shout out DeMar, total pro here while he's here in Sacramento.
Good luck, DeMar. Loved covering him in that year, at least.
We'll talk more about what this move means for the Kings, who DeMar was for the Sacramento Kings, and where the Kings go from here at 1 o'clock. But right now, it is time to pick a side.
This is just a random pick aside, but do we think Nique Clifford's going to show up in number 10 tonight?
That would be awesome.
Let's go, Nique.
He was wearing double
Let's
zero.
Go, Nique.
That was the funniest thing I saw all weekend was him
Nique
showing
double
up.
zero?
Yes,
Yeah.
him in the double zero because he technically could. He's taking number 10, but he technically couldn't wear 10 because DeMar was still on the team.
Yeah.
And he gave up number 5 to Acuff.
By the way, Nique got a little bit of swag to him.
Of course he does.
Nique in the post game too. He's pretty honest. Like, I'll also give him that. Like, he was pretty honest. Like, when they were asked, like, hey, what was the determination on if you were playing in the, California Classic in Summer League? It wasn't up to me. I was like, all right, young man.
Yeah, Nique was like, I didn't have much of a choice.
It was pretty funny.
But hey, I'm here.
They told him you're suiting up. Maybe the oldest California Classic participant.
Is he 25 already?
Or
is he about to be 25?
He's either just 25 or he's about to turn 25, I think.
But that was funny.
He's 24 still. He turns 25 in the season.
Okay.
So anyways, first pick aside, did you guys see this in Sacramento yesterday? The Marlins' Yuri Perez had a perfect game through 7 innings. He was at 92 pitches, and the Marlins took him out.
Nah.
The reliever immediately gave up a walk. I think the A's scored like 8 runs or something in the last 2 innings. They still lost, but the Marlins lost their perfect game. So for context, he apparently had a 90-pitch limit, was what the manager said, and this was his 3rd game back from an injury, which I had to read the injury again to see this is right. He had a high-grade strain of his hamstring because his hamstring spasmed while he was doing lunges on the bench, preparing to go back in for the 5th inning of a previous start. Which is, baseball players have insane injuries, by the way.
Yeah, I mean...
But this was his 3rd start back, and they pulled him with a perfect game.
I don't love it. I'm from a competitor standpoint, I don't love it. I'm sure he didn't love it. Now, do I understand sometimes that there was injury involved in the past, how many days, weeks? Yeah, I get that, but he hadn't even come close to that 90-game pitch limit. It wasn't like a shoulder injury, an arm injury. I don't like it.
Yeah,
leave him in.
I think
leave him in.
I have long been on the side of, like, sometimes you have to protect the player from themselves because the players will always want to push through. Like, I was very adamant about that with Tyrese Halliburton playing in Game 7. It's Game 7 of the finals. I know
that was also a different injury.
Of course, and I'm comparing apples to oranges here. But so I'm saying this because I'm acknowledging the hypocriticalness of what I'm saying. It's like he's rocking. Now it's against the A's, so I'm glad they did it. But he's rocking. Let him go. It's like, yeah, that's a That's a decision that you're not popular in your clubhouse as a manager for making that decision.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not popular around the world for making that decision. It takes cojones to do it, I guess. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't have done it.
They would have let him keep going. By the way, random thing I learned, Yuri Perez, the tallest player in baseball.
Oh, that's cool.
6'8", apparently. He's taller than Aaron
Dang,
Judge.
that is huge.
Wow, I didn't realize
6'8".
that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But anyways, the A's suck, and the Marlins almost threw a perfect. That would be crazy if the last two, or the only two perfect games this decade would be against the A's. Because he had the Herman one when they were in Oakland, and then this one. It's just
Not something you want on your resume.
I
for
just
sure.
retweeted a video that I shot for ABC 10, which was after DeMar came out during the California Classic Summer League when he was announced, or when it was like kind of announced, but not really announced. He was signing, and he came out to the ovation. He's sitting courtside next to Vivek Ranadive and De'Aaron Fox. And you're just like,
gosh.
You remember those feelings, man? Man, we
Remember
thought,
the
oh, we
days.
got that duo. Well,
yeah, they were playing the.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Or they
remember
never
that.
stopped.
like us.
So does this also, like, low-key, I love Kendrick Lamar. The Kings played that so much that I'm tired of it. And I'm sure DeMar was even tired of it because it played it every time he came out. Felt like they played it during warm-ups. Wonder if we're going to see or hear a little bit less of Kendrick Lamar or a little bit more of Drake now at Kings games.
I was on the side of they couldn't play it enough. I mean, how cool is it that he's in the actual music video, you know?
It's true. But he probably got tired of it. All right, what do we got next?
All right, Brett Siegel mentioned that Kevin Durant has strong interest in playing in Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, so
They need scoring.
Yes or no? Or is he done with the Rockets? He can't come back after the burner account scandal of 2026?
I will say that was weird as you know what. That escalated real quickly in the postseason, guys. And I know there was the injury involved too, but something seemed weird in the postseason, especially with the Durant saga. I would not be the way that Durant rolls around the league. I would not be surprised if he's playing for some team like Detroit.
It's Kevin Durant, but also if I'm the Houston Rockets, yeah, I'm trying to move on. Like, it was so weird. It was so uncomfortable. Also, the Houston Rockets have to deal with what the hell is Alperen Şengün? Is he a star or is
Right.
he not? And they're going to wait for that. But things were obviously so awkward and so uncomfortable, and Durant didn't do himself any favors with that situation. Plus, I know things are, I think, a little weird about Ime Udoka right now and how much they believe in him as the future head coach. The Rockets are just kind of weird right now. They're still very polarizing, but they're very weird. I think Kevin Durant makes a ton of sense with the Detroit Pistons. I have no idea how this trade happens, how
I don't
they figure
either,
it out.
but they do always.
What does Detroit even have?
Yeah.
Dude,
what, are they going to trade
knows?
Duncan Robinson?
Can we interest you in, who did they just sign?
John Collins.
Yeah, can we interest you in John Collins?
Oh, what the heck are the Pistons doing? I will say, if this is how the Kevin Durant era ends in Houston, I still think it's so funny that the downfall of the Houston Rockets is going to be a Twitter account called @GetOffMyBleeperson. It's going to be an incredible end to the Houston Rockets era.
Hey, at least he came up with a good name for it, a good handle.
Let's do the final one.
I want to, yes.
Yeah,
I want to
please,
do
because
this.
this is.
We've got
this
thoughts.
is time
I'm
related.
passionate about this too.
People who shoot off fireworks the day after the 4th of July.
Okay.
I mean, I want to say something else, but we'll call it fair or foul.
Okay. First of all, I came from Nashville, right? Fireworks, big fireworks show, big thing down there, 4th of July.
Yep.
I came up here to Northern California, first 4th of July here. Y'all like you some fireworks more than anybody in the world. Like, these fireworks have been happening since like 2 days before 4th of July.
Yep, that's common.
And last night, look, I'm fine with it, whatever. Like, my dog doesn't really get fazed by it either, so I'm cool with that.
Good. That's really
But
good.
last night, Sunday, I'm trying to get my 8 hours of sleep. And in the middle of the freaking night, I want to say it was like 12, 1 a.m.
Wait, what happened? What was it? Wow, that's crazy.
I just spit across the room, too.
That's a great
I'm like,
fireworks sound.
In
you know?
what world are we doing this? And it was not at 8. It was not at 9. It was not at 10. It was at like 12 or 1. Y'all, don't be stupid.
I witnessed justice on social media this morning.
What was that?
I'm waking up. I'm just perusing through social media, and I see this video of this dad. and he's walking down the street of his neighborhood at 7 o'clock in the morning, the day after 4th of July, with a speaker on his back. Blasting fireworks sounds, saying into the camera, if you know what's are going to be doing it till 3 o'clock in the morning, you should have the same energy at 7 a.m., right?
That's funny.
He got revenge.
That's funny.
And I'll just speak for all parents, especially of newborns out there. Y'all know the hatred you feel in your heart when you get and I know pet lovers and pet owners feel a certain type of way about this too. But newborn parents, I know y'all are with me. I never wanted to commit murder more in my life than when my baby was woken up by people launching fireworks off in the middle of the night for no reason. Y'all are horrible, and I know for the most part it's teenagers who are on summer vacation that have nothing better to do with their lives, but y'all are awful. I hate y'all. Stop it. But the problem is the more you tell them to stop it, the more they're going to do it because it's funny to them. So,
for sure.
I do think every year about that one July 11th firework. I know it's coming. I'm mentally prepared for it. Someone is going to find a firework in their backyard that they didn't shoot off, and on July 11th, it's going to go into the sky, and we're all going to get freaked out.
Listen, I'm all for fireworks. You can even have fireworks going to like after midnight on 4th of July.
Yeah,
I get it. It's a holiday. It is what it is. Like, you kind of expect it, right? But the day after or days before, screw you, man. Screw you.
Also, people were saying the A's fireworks show was kind of lame this year.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was great last year. I went to the 4th of July fireworks show last year.
I didn't see it, but people were saying it was not. There was nothing special about it.
Represent Sacramento says you're lucky Mexico didn't win. The fireworks would have been all night. You know, I'd been all right with that one.
That's funny.
I'd have been cool with that one.
The one guy shooting it off, Kayla, was an England fan. They're just like,
I must have been, right?
Doco was a sea of green after the Kings game yesterday because they were doing a watch party in that area where they normally have the ice rink right next to Doco, right down the street from the Golden One Center. Man, I'll tell you what. Mexico soccer fans, not only were you out in mass, y'all were a vibe. Like the outfits.
I love that.
Everybody was just rocking. It was awesome.
I know. I'm like, that energy, you can't beat it when it comes to soccer.
Somebody got engaged at the Sac Republic one yesterday. It was crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
It's completely
really cool.
impromptu.
Brick Ripsaw says Matt George is a Karen. No, Matt George had a newborn baby that got woken up by you know what's launching fireworks when you're not supposed to. Kiss my
At least you guys weren't in Newport Beach. That became, you all look it up because it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
I will say this. One of my favorite things every year is hearing, we're cracking down. Drones are going to be everywhere. We're like, California especially, police officers, firefighters, we're all over this. We're making sure this doesn't happen. And then you get the aerial views of the Bay Area and LA, and it's just, it's just no one cares.
They can't do anything
What are you
going
to
do?
Find the entire city?
Yeah.
I do love those videos. They make me laugh. All right. There you go. There's our 4th of July get off my lawn moment of the night. When we come back, Nique Agar Johnson. He is from No Ceilings, and we love the No Ceilings crew. But Nick is Sacramento-based. He's been a Kings fan his entire life, and he was in the Golden One Center for the California Classic. We'll get his thoughts on what he saw from Darius Acuff Jr., what he's seen from the rest of these rookies, and more. When we return, it's Matt and Kayla here on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And we're live from the living room as Doug eyes up the matchday spread. He's reaching for the buffalo wing. Perfect! Hang on, what's this? Oh, he's gone for a can of Pepsi too! Incredible! What a finish! Sensational combination! Look at the delight on his face. There's no doubt about it. It just tastes better. Match days deserve Pepsi. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a pack of Pepsi Zero Sugar for today's match. It's poetry in motion.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Innova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see. The new Innova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at InnovaCabinetStone.com.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown 411 16th Street and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for the lunch break. Your calls, your thoughts, your segment. Call or text us at 916-339-1140. It's the lunch break on Matt and Kayla.
We're still getting our bearings after the not shocking but still breaking news that the Sacramento Kings are waiving DeMar DeRozan. DeMar had a number of really cool moments in Sacramento. I remember his game winner. Well, that one was in Dallas, I remember. He had hit a game winner where he split two defenders to have the Kings beat the Dallas Mavericks. That's the first one that comes to mind. But arguably, the biggest moment for DeMar DeRozan as a Sacramento King was when he came out during the California Classic in the Golden One Center. And speaking of the Cali Classic, it's going on right now. Tonight is Night 3. The Kings taking on the Bucks at 7 o'clock. And our guest right now, Nique Johnson, he's part of the incredible crew at No Ceilings who just absolutely killed it with their draft coverage and their build up to the draft this year. They've already got their stuff going for next year's draft. They're psychopaths. Get some rest, will ya? But Nique Johnson is one of the No Ceilings crew, but he's Sacramento-based. He's a Kings fan, and he joins us now. He's been in the Golden One Center checking out the California Classic action so far. Nick, my friend, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me back. It is a whirlwind, man. I mean, the draft never sleeps, as you mentioned. We've already gotten started for our next cycle, but, Summer League is always a great send-off for the previous class, and, I feel very lucky to have the opportunity to get to see the Kings in Sacramento and head over to Vegas and see them there as well. Again, draft never sleeps, and it's a good time as a Kings fan because there are some really exciting young prospects on the team.
Now, Nick, help me out. I know you were at the Golden One Center for at least one of the California Classic games. Were you at both this weekend or just one of them?
So I made it to both this weekend.
Yeah.
I unfortunately won't be able to make it to tonight's games, but I was able to see both the Kings games over the weekend, as well as, of course, the games between the Bucks, the Nets, and the Warriors that preceded those Kings games. So, got a little bit of scouting in and certainly got to see the highlight of the experience in Darius Acuff Jr.
That's where I was going to start. What'd you make of him? He wasn't afraid to shoot the ball, was he, Nick? 29 shot attempts.
No, he was not afraid to shoot the ball, and he has never been afraid to shoot the ball. It's interesting because for me, it was very much a tale of two halves and more of a tale of, 4 quarters, obviously, but the difference between Darius Acuff in the first quarter and the rest of the game, in my mind, was pretty dramatic. In the first quarter, he was settling for a lot of jumpers, and the team as a whole had no offense going whatsoever. I mean, if you weren't at the game and or didn't see the box score, you can look up and see the fact that the Kings had 10 points in the first quarter. It was a brutal offensive showing all the way around, and Acuff was a part of that. A lot of it was just him settling for jumpers against a very active and very lengthy, very athletic Nets defense. But he started to settle down after that first quarter, got a few drives in the second quarter that really started to get going. And the second half was an entirely different experience from the first half. That was when we got to see the Darius Acuff that scouts have already gotten very familiar with, in terms of his shooting from all over the court, but also his passing. He really didn't look to create much for others in the first half, but by the time the second half rolled around, he had a beautiful alley-oop to Jonathan Mobo in the fourth quarter, and that alley-oop passing was, even among the exemplary passing gifts that Darius Acuff Jr. has, his alley-oop passing is really the most special part of his passing profile. We got to see a little bit of that. And then, he was going ISO last possession of the game and made the right play, made the right call, kicked it out to Nique Clifford for what ended up being the game-winning triple. So, it was not the prettiest first half and really not the prettiest first quarter for Darius Acuff Jr., but in that second half, he showed a lot of the reasons why he was the number 7 pick in the 2026 NBA draft.
Nick Johnson of No Ceilings joining us here on the Matt and Kayla Show. We're talking about this weekend's California Classic. When talking about Acuff Jr., you're right. And he even emphasized after the game that he wanted to have more assists. Part of that, I'm sure, is, like you said, he came out a little bit behind, a little rusty. And then part of it is, the team just wasn't shooting well either. How do you make of, though, the self-awareness of Acuff Jr. in early on, what we're seeing from him?
It is a remarkable gift to be as young as he is and be as self-aware as he is. I can promise that I was nowhere near as aware of the world at 19 as Darius Acuff Jr. is. And, it's something that, again, intel is always the murkiest part of the scouting experience, but with Acuff, that maturity was something that you could really see on the court at Arkansas this past season. He was nowhere near as adept of a playmaker in high school as he was at Arkansas. And, part of that is the talent around him. Obviously he had some talent around him at IMG, but there were multiple NBA players on the Arkansas roster this past season, a couple of whom were in the NBA draft with Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas and Trevon Brazile. A couple more went back to school in Billy Richmond III and Carter Knox. But, the thing with Acuff Jr.'s mentality is there were certainly some concerns, and I admit I was among them, of how willing he would be to be a playmaker for others, once he made it past the high school level. And he showed a lot of the maturity that he, put on display in that press conference in his game on the floor at Arkansas, where he really made that next step in terms of, okay, I've gotten to the point where, I'm a bucket myself from pretty much anywhere on the court, but what can I do to make the players around me better? That's the kind of mentality that you want to see from a franchise point guard. And certainly so far, after that first quarter where he, struggled to get adjusted, the fact that he immediately was on himself about the playmaking part of it when he scored 25 points in his NBA debut is pretty special to see from a young point guard.
What do you make of his performance in general, especially when it came to getting to the basket, Nick? That was something that really impressed me. And the way that I summed it up is, now it's against Summer League talent, so take that with a grain of salt. But you, as well as all of us, saw all the labels put upon Darius and even Kingston Flemings and some of these small guard, below the rim player, undersized. And I know where the league is going. They love those Keaton Wogglers, those 6'5", 6'6" point guards and things like that. But Darius Acuff Jr., for being a under the rim or below the rim player, looked very comfortable getting downhill and certainly didn't look small in stature or strength by any means, getting to the spots that he wanted. And, of course, we saw the incredible shot making and finishing through contact that he's able to show off at times, too. How much are you encouraged by that, even though it's against Summer League competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's just Summer League label can be put on all of these games and all of these players at any given point in time. But that was really the turning point for me was, again, the second half was, the sort of more highlight reel worthy stuff from Acuff. But really for me, it was the clear change in sort of his mentality that we saw between the first quarter and the second quarter where, the first quarter, again, he was settling a lot for jumpers. He wasn't really looking to push to attack the basket. And as soon as he started getting those lanes in the second quarter, he was charging after them. And, that was when he started to readjust, whether it was jitters, whether it was just sort of a notion that, a lot of the fans in the arena were looking to see Acuff shoot the ball quite a bit. Him adjusting and, not settling as much for jumpers and making those drives to the rim was a huge part of him and the Kings turning things around offensively after that first quarter. And the size thing is something that I personally think is a lot more of a concern on the defensive end than the offensive end. I mean, he wasn't, this crazy finisher around the basket. Like, Bennett Sturtz finished 70% of his shots at the rim this past season. LeBaron Philon was at like 68%. And, on the flip side, Keaton Wagler was below 55%, right? There's a variance in the guards in this class in terms of their ability to finish at the basket. And Acuff was more in the middle in terms of the raw numbers of it. But again, we saw it in, game one of the California Classic that once he started to get downhill, once he started to attack the basket, that was when the rest of his offensive game started to open up. And that was how, he got the lanes that he ended up getting in the fourth quarter to make plays for others was once he'd established his own offense, then he was ready to go to the races. And it took that ability to, get more aggressive in terms of him attacking the basket to offset the fact that his jumper wasn't falling early. Once his jumper did start falling, obviously things looked a lot better, but that shift in mentality was a huge part of the game for Acuff and the Kings as a whole.
So we clearly didn't get to see Alex Karaban play. He's dealing with that injury. Hopefully we'll see him down in Vegas. But we did see Emmanuel Sharp, and I think he brought some excitement at times, especially maybe when Acuff was struggling a little bit in that first half. Let's start with the defense from him and what you saw out of him. And then are you concerned at all with his funky shot?
So I'm going to start with no.
Okay.
And that's the funky shot question, which is, look, I hate to bring up a sore spot, but, Kings fans watch Tyrese Halliburton, right? And that was the question coming out about him was, he's got a weird forearm on the shot. Can he shoot off the dribble? Turns out the important part is whether or not the shot goes in. And, Emmanuel Sharp was one of the best. I believe he was the best free throw shooter in his conference last year, 89%, 87% from the line, career in college, 37% from three-point range on a high volume of pretty difficult attempts for the most part. The form might be a little bit non-traditional, sure, but the most important part is that it goes in. And Emmanuel Sharp's shot, I mean, I was quite impressed with him over the course of both games, but I was honestly more impressed with him in the second game. The first game, he really was the catalyst for the Kings turning things around in that second quarter. He hit a couple threes, continued to play exceptional defense, but that second game, the first quarter, he did everything right, and his shots just weren't falling. As soon as they started to fall in the second quarter of that second game, we got to see the best version of Emmanuel Sharp, just, putting a charge through the arena with his effort, just absolutely relentless defense in a way that, you can give the caveat of, it's Summer League, he's not defending the best of talents, but the flip side of that is, it's Summer League, and he's still defending this aggressively. He's still got this much effort. He's still raring to go. He played the most minutes in back-to-back games, the first two nights of California Classic. So really a lot of great stuff from Emmanuel Sharp. And the other thing was he had a few nifty passes that were really not an emphasized part of his arsenal at Houston. And part of that is because Houston, in the aforementioned Kingston Flemings and also Milos Uzan and a ton of the other talented players that have played for the Houston Cougars over the years, Emmanuel Sharp wasn't asked to do a lot of the playmaking, and that was something that I was hoping to see more of in day two, when he was a bigger part of the offense than he was in day one. And there were some nifty passing flashes that I really hope we'll get to continue to see more of going forward, because if he can add that sort of playmaking for others to his arsenal, then there's even more of a reason to continue to feed him, hopefully, rotation minutes once the season begins.
We're joined by Nique Johnson from No Ceilings, providing phenomenal NBA draft coverage. And I'm talking about 2027 NBA draft already that they do over there. But Nick is Sacramento-based, also a Kings fan, so excited to get him on the show for his opinions on everything going down in the Cali Classic. With Emmanuel Sharp specifically, Nick, I know you're very aware of how Kings fans felt about Keon Ellis. We saw Keon get traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. We know Keon was just signed, and good for him being signed to a deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Keon was not a part of this current front office regime. They did not bring him in, even though he was one of the biggest success stories that the Kings have had and one of the biggest two-way success stories in the NBA, period. But based off of your understanding of who Keon was to the Sacramento Kings, and I know you don't know what Scott Perry is thinking, none of us do you think it's realistic to look at Emmanuel Sharp as a potential version of what Keon Ellis was for the Sacramento Kings, but for Scott Perry's new Kings?
Yeah, I mean, I think the role is very much the same. And it's interesting because there are a lot of similarities between the two. There are also a few differences that I see as critical differences, but I think the idea for the role is the same, right? The idea is, okay, you're going to shoot a lot of threes, you're going to play defense, you're going to, guard the toughest guy, you're going to try and generate turnovers, try and create chaos out there. I think, the biggest difference that I see is Emmanuel Sharp is a little smaller height-wise, but, I mean, this was clear from, the moment he stepped on the court at the California Classic. He is built.
Yeah.
He is built like a fire hydrant in a way that Keon Ellis very much is not, right? And so that's the kind of thing that, maybe there might be a little bit less versatility on some of the quicker guards, but, in terms of, covering players with more bulk up front, those sorts of things, there can be a little bit of a difference there. I think that, Sharp, for all his ability to really lock up guys at the point of attack, he doesn't quite generate turnovers in the same way that Keon Ellis did, but the concept is very much the same, right? It's like, okay, guy who is, either like a fifth starter type or like a, sixth or seventh man off the bench kind of deal, come in, play defense, get open, hit your three-pointers, and just bring that consistent energy night after night after night after night. He can absolutely check a ton of the same boxes that Keon Ellis checks for the Kings.
I'm going to steal Matt's thunder because Matt loves this two-way contract they signed with Jonathan Mobo.
Oh, he's my guy.
And I will say he was really fun to watch these last couple of nights in terms of him playing. Did you take anything from his minutes on the floor the past couple days?
Well, I'm going to have to steal Matt's thunder in return.
Oh!
Because
How dare you?
He's my guy, too.
Look at that.
In addition to No Ceilings NBA, I also host a weekly Kings podcast called Kings Weekly, aptly enough. And in the episode that we did previewing California Classic, I very much called my shot with Jonathan Mobo because the idea with Mobo is he is this versatile defensive piece that, other than Keegan Murray, the Kings have been desperately looking for years now. Someone in that 6'7" to 6'9" range who can switch out onto bigger forwards, who can cover out on the perimeter as well, who can block shots, get steals. And the other thing about Mobo that's, a little bit of the under the radar part is he's a really good passer for his position as well. So in terms of what I saw from him, day one was definitely better than day two. It was a similar sort of vibe of, okay, I'm not really looking to score much. If there's a lob for me to catch, I can do that, as with the aforementioned Darius Acuff lob in the fourth quarter of that first game the Kings played in California Classic. But, I mean, he had 5 blocks and 2 steals on the first night, right? He was just absolutely everywhere defensively, while also making the kinds of connective passes that are really important for a player of his size who doesn't have a three-point shot to speak of. So with Mobo, I was very much hoping that he could come in and fill exactly the role that he's filled so far in California Classic. And day one was the exact perfect version of that. Day two was solid, less of an obvious case to make for the clear agenda that I'm pushing here, but I very much believe that Jonathan Mobo could be a part of the Kings rotation and be the next two-way success story. I mean, the Kings have been one of the best teams in the NBA in terms of scouting undrafted / end of the bench kind of guys, getting them on two-way contracts and turning them into valuable NBA players.
All right. Upon self-reflection, I do not know if I can claim Jonathan Mobo being my guy over Nick or any of the guys who have been very familiar with his game beforehand. So I guess I'll secede that a little bit. But I'm excited to buy him, Nick, for all the reasons that you laid out. The athleticism, the blocking shots. He flies all over the floor, and I love that. We'll see if he can add to his offensive bag. I'm sure Doug Christie is very excited about him too. But, Nick, you're obviously very locked in with Kings basketball outside of just the draft. What did you make of the not surprising but still big news today that just broke recently that DeMar DeRozan has played his last game as a Sacramento King? He is going to be waived or has been waived and is now free to choose where he will likely end his career, maybe, ? We'll see what he has left in the tank, but it sounds like contenders are interested in him, but he's no longer going to be a King.
Yeah, I mean, this was something that there was a little fear in the back of my mind might happen for a while now, just given that the third year of his contract was only partially guaranteed. And, ultimately with DeMar DeRozan, he did absolutely everything that was asked of him, and the situation just changed, right? I mean, he signed to a team that had won 46 and 48 games in the previous 2 years, and in one of those years had been the third seed in the Western Conference. And things did not go like that for the Kings over the course of DeMar's 2 seasons, but that was absolutely not on him, and he continued to be just a consummate professional, a consummate mid-range scorer, the master of the mid-range in the modern NBA, and certainly it's one of those situations where, there was a almost expectation that, once he signed with the Kings and the fact that he was, on the wrong side of not only 30, but 35 in terms of NBA experience, which, as someone in my 30s myself is wild for me to say, but, for the sake of the NBA, right, clearly on the downswing of his career, and yet he pretty much maintained his level of production from previous seasons in a Kings uniform and was the veteran leader and was the guy down the stretch in the fourth quarter for, much of the last 2 seasons. So it was great to have him in a Kings uniform. I will be sad to see him go, but yeah, as you mentioned already, this was one that was pretty easy to predict happening, and I hope he signs with a contender and flourishes in the twilight of his career, which, given how the last 2 years went, the twilight of his career might be longer than people thought it was a couple years ago.
Nick, we appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Travel safe to Las Vegas. Enjoy the Summer League festivities over there. Man, we're in store for some massive matchups, too, not just with the Sacramento Kings, but with all the top picks in this very exciting draft class. So enjoy it. Travel there safe, travel home safe, and we look forward to seeing you and chatting with you again very soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me back on. And yeah, draft never sleeps, and Summer League won't sleep for at least a little bit longer.
Got that right. Well, you certainly aren't going to be doing much sleeping in Las Vegas. Shout out to Nick Johnson from No Ceilings, also hosts a Sacramento Kings podcast, very Kings-centric draft coverage that you'll get from Nick. He is awesome. So looking forward to that. Hey, you want to talk a little football?
Let's do it.
When we get back, because ESPN ranked their top starting NFL rosters. Where does the Niners roster fall in those rankings? Of course, we'll touch on the Raiders too, and some surprising rankings for some rosters that I didn't expect to be as high as they were. We'll talk about that when we return, plus Kayla's 2-minute drill with all of the other big stories happening around the NFL. Hey man, blink and NFL training camps are going to be here before we know it. It's getting exciting. You can feel the times changing a little bit. Football for the next half an hour right here on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan's shoes?
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Remember when a driving range was just a driving range? Yeah, Hagen Oaks doesn't remember either. Reserve one of 3 top Tracer bays from 6 to 11 p.m. at HagenOaks.com. Only 3 bays are reservable, while the rest of the range remains open for walk-ups. Play virtual golf, then grab food, drinks, and a seat in front of the TVs at the hangout. Throw in live music, and suddenly your quick stop at the range turns into hours of fun. Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. Side effects may include laughter, bragging rights, and one friend insisting he would have won if the wind wasn't blowing.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Country in the Park 2, presented by your California Army National Guard, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Russell Dickerson. Plus more. Enjoy line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, and food trucks. Tickets start at just $70. Country in the Park 2, October 23rd at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra, the California Office of Traffic Safety, and Caltrans. More info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and yeah, I've been on the air here just shy of 25 years, and you guys know that when I endorse something, I have a few very important things. Number one, I love it when they're local. Number two, I have to be willing to use them myself. This is where Pest Pros came in, or comes in, I should say, because I've known these guys as Kings fans a long, long time. I also have a mouse problem at my house. I also have a cockroach problem at my house. And I did it the old-fashioned way. Went through Facebook, got a hold of these guys. We became friends. And when I found out what Pest Pros does in the community, I thought, I've got to have you guys on the air. We've got a partner. Locally owned, locally operated. Their kids go to school with your kids. You're going to get pest control somewhere. Get it with Pest Pros. Here's how you get a hold of them. PestProsPS.com or call them at 916-588-9345. That's 916-588-9345 and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
In celebration of 80 years of 49ers football, Sactown Sports is counting down 80 of the most memorable moments that have shaped the team's storied legacy and winning tradition. Here's today's faithful flashback.
Number 48, San Francisco's first playoff appearance.
The San Francisco 49ers' first playoff appearance was a Western Conference tiebreaker game against the Detroit Lions on December 22, 1957 at Kezar Stadium. The reported large crowd of 60,118 got to see the 49ers get off to a quick start. Touchdown passes from Y.A. Tittle to R.C. Owens and Hugh McElhaney put San Francisco up 14-0. That lead would grow to 27-7 in the third quarter. 24 straight points by the Lions ended the hope. And although they did not advance to the championship game that year, it did help build the beginning of what has become a championship standard and expectations for the team.
Faithful flashbacks on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Switching our gears to football here for the next half an hour. We'll get back to Kings talk and the news of DeMar DeRozan being waived. A move we saw coming, but what does it mean for the Sacramento Kings and where do they go from here? We'll talk about that at 1 o'clock. ESPN ranked the starting rosters or starting lineups, for lack of a better term, of every single NFL team. Where the Niners and Raiders fall on this list, we'll get to that. But I can tell you it's not in the top 5. The top 5 teams, the top 5 rosters, starting rosters, according to ESPN. Number 1, just get used to this, LA Rams. LA Rams, number 1. Yeah. Hey, whether it's the Dodgers, the Rams, the Lakers, hey, just expect a very expensive, very star-studded roster to be there. And ESPN loves them. Of course they do. It's LA. So the LA Rams, number 1. I don't think we have any issues with that, do we?
No, not right now in the moves that they made in the offseason.
Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you think about that?
Little interesting.
You think little
interesting
too high?
For the fact that they, and by the way, they got really torn apart after last season. So much so that even ESPN themselves have been saying, like, is this Jalen Hurts last year? Like, I don't know how much belief people truly have in the Eagles. Like, they have the talent, but there always seems to be some soap opera that breaks out. But with A.J. Brown gone, I don't know. Maybe things are settled down a little bit.
Can you imagine if all of a sudden, like, Nick Sirianni and all the Eagles, they just love each other now that A.J.
Right.
Brown's
it's
gone?
like, oh, A.J.'s, I don't believe that,
I
by
don't
the way.
either,
I
at
don't
all.
believe that. I think it starts with things that are more up top.
Yeah.
But a little high for me.
Number 3, Kayla's Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
And number 3 on the list, well, that roster is very star-studded, of course. Number 4, the Buffalo Bills. And number 5, rounding out the top 5, the Baltimore Ravens. The San Francisco 49ers did not crack the top 10. They just missed it. Number 10 is the Green Bay Packers. Number 11, your San Francisco 49ers. Now, this article breaks down the biggest strength, biggest weakness, X factor for 2026, and non-starter to know. We'll talk about the biggest strength. Quarterback. Says, I could have gone in a few different directions here, but Brock Purdy's continued strong play coupled with Mac Jones' solid performance in relief duty last season is enough to push quarterback to the top. Durability has been an issue for Purdy, but his efficiency has been elite as he has finished his 3 seasons as a starter, ranked 1st, 7th, and most recently 2nd in QB rating. He threw 20 touchdowns in only 9 games last season, a pace matched only by Matthew Stafford. So let me ask this question. Because the Niners are paying Brock Purdy as a franchise quarterback. So they're paying Brock Purdy to be their biggest strength. Is it at all concerning, though, that on a team with the amount of weapons that the Niners have, who are notorious for not all being able to stay healthy, is it concerning that they did end up going quarterback as their biggest strength of this Niner team?
A little bit, but they believe so much in him there. And I do believe most national, media outlets, analysts do like Brock Purdy and do believe as long as he stays healthy. But you can say that about every position on the Niners roster.
Right.
I'm not surprised by this. Now, I guess that you could say, well, they added Mike Evans and, why maybe wasn't that, everybody loved that move. Why isn't that maybe more so what they're counting on is this wide receiver core? Because I just think a lot of it's unproven still. Besides him, you're hoping that Ricky Pearsall stays healthy. You're hoping that Dejon Stribling is what he's supposed to be and why they maybe made the move at taking him and a little bit higher than maybe other teams predicted or analysts predicted.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. And then also you look at the backup spot for the quarterback position. I think they have a better 1-2 punch
the most depth
than most organizations have right now.
I would agree with that. For me, the biggest strength of that team will continue to be Christian McCaffrey until it's not. He's just such an X factor.
But there's not a lot behind it.
Right.
In terms of proof.
There's still a bit. What do you mean?
Like if he goes down.
Oh, no,
Like,
exactly.
Who the hell's stepping up, and what have we seen from those?
I agree with that 100%.
running backs?
But it's funny that of a year marred by injury, Christian McCaffrey was the only guy to stay healthy last season.
Yeah.
And I think there's natural skepticism. Will that be able to happen again, especially if he had the same workload that he did?
And he's 30 now, by the way.
Right. But McCaffrey, to me, is still the biggest strength of this team until otherwise. But, okay, you give it to the quarterback position because you believe in Brock Purdy. The Niners clearly do too. Okay. What surprises me is Christian McCaffrey not being mentioned as the X factor for 2026. ESPN has Mike Evans as the X factor. I get that because he was that big signing and he's their red zone target. But again, Christian McCaffrey is such an engine for that offense.
I think this is where you get a little bit confused on the breakdown because you're saying that the most important piece, I guess, like with the roster that they have is the quarterback spot, which is Brock. But then you're kind of saying, well, he needs to be the X factor. First of all, I also would put Christian McCaffrey in that category because without Christian McCaffrey, it's hard to see how this offense runs and runs, because he kind of made it happen last year when all these other injuries
did everything.
He led the team in receiving yards. That can't happen, and that's not going to happen this year. Does Mike Evans need to be one of the X factors? Yeah, most definitely, because they brought him here for a reason. But at what point are you going to say Brock needs to be the guy that's really making his receivers better in terms of not saying vice versa? I get it. Mike's he's a long-term, he's a veteran. He's proven it season after season that can be that dude. I think he's going to be a big part of helping Brock.
Yeah.
But X Factor, I don't know about that.
I mean, we've talked about this before. It's now the narrative in San Francisco is turning from how can Brock make the most out of the incredible weapons that he's had to how does Brock make new weapons, right? How does Brock,
and he has to at some
and
point.
He has to, exactly. But maybe the fact that, like, if I'm dissecting this article, which we're not necessarily doing, or dissecting this ranking, I think these things are partnered. Brock Purdy is the biggest offensive weapon that they have, or biggest strength, because they've seen how efficient he can be at throwing touchdowns with the rosters that he's had, but he's never had the red zone target that Mike Evans is.
Yeah.
So therefore, Mike Evans is the X factor, because if the Niners can consistently get into the red zone, Brock Purdy's touchdowns might go up because he has this weapon in the red zone that he's never had before. I'm trying to connect dots here. I think that's what the Niners are ultimately hoping is, hey, just get us within 10 yards, and Brock can throw it up to Mike Evans and he'll do the rest.
Yeah,
right?
I get that. I mean, when it comes down to it, you got to score points in this NFL. Like points are something you have to have. Now, on the other hand, you cannot completely ignore there's got to be an X factor defensively for this team. This is a team last year that could not get to the quarterback.
Right.
It was a big issue. And so much so that really for a big chunk of the year, like they were also at the bottom of the league in terms of interceptions. Like, because again, you set the defense up from front to back.
Yeah.
And if you're not having success up front, you're sure as hell ain't having success in the back end of the defense.
Yeah.
Now, they've done some things to add, pieces and everything. But when it comes down to it, like, what will this pass rush look like? I'm not quite sure if they've even added enough. Like, maybe they add another piece.
Yeah.
But I think the defense is also going to be interesting with Nick Bosa back and supposedly being healthy. Like, what can they do as well?
They just need their defensive playmakers back. And having Fred Warner as your number one defensive playmaker is important too. But Diamador Lenore needs to be more of a playmaker. If Nick Bosa comes back, getting to the quarterback more. They just need more defensive playmaking. By the way, the biggest weakness here, labeled by ESPN, is the interior defensive line. And the non-starter to know, they pointed out Dazon Stribling. The number one pick in the second round for the San Francisco 49ers. By the way, really quick check-in on the Las Vegas Raiders. Well, you have to scroll down quite a ways before you get to the ranking of the Raiders. By the way, number 25, the New York Jets. I'm surprised.
How are they above the Raiders?
That's
bizarre to me.
I don't know.
A lot of draft picks.
Yeah, but also no offense to Geno, but like Geno's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Soon to be Cade Klubnik.
The biggest strength for the Raiders, who are ranked 27th, by the way, in terms of best starting lineup. Biggest strength is their tight end position. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Brock Bowers. Biggest weakness, also interior defensive line. Well, they do have Max Crosby back, but the interior still needs a lot of work. X factor for 2026 is the entire right side of the offensive line.
There we go.
Will the offensive
That's
line
what we're talking about.
keep Kirk Cousins and, more importantly, Fernando Mendoza alive and on their feet? That's a big X factor. Non-starter to know is guard Caleb Rogers. So you can check out
At least they got the anchor in the center.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't have to worry about Kirk because he's going to check it down anytime a guy gets close.
Anyway, if the bubble, if his pocket is in trouble, he's throwing it.
I will
to a
still
check
never forget him checking down on 4th down in a playoff game with the game on the line. That is hilarious.
Hey, man.
Kirk just panic checks down.
Respect. He's going to be doing that probably a lot with that Raiders offensive line this season. We'll take the break. When we come back, more around the NFL. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill, the other top stories in the National Football League, including
There we go, Matt. You can do this.
Well, I'm both grossed out by it and I can't speak.
Oh.
The Travis Kelce,
yeah.
Taylor Swift wedding around the world.
Yeah, got to talk about
Put it on Netflix already. We'll talk about it next. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is taking over NBA Summer League. Join Jason Ross, Whitey Gleason, and Alan Stiles as they broadcast live from Las Vegas, July 13th through the 17th. Presented by Power Business Technology. Over the air, online, and on location, Sactown Sports 1140 is your eyes and ears for all things Sacramento Kings this summer.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
It's the 4th of July Sell-A-Thon at Folsom Lake Ford with employee pricing. Plus, get 2.9% financing. Plus, $1,000 trade assistance on select new Fords. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford today. FolsomLakeFord.com. On approval of credit, see dealer for details.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026. From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, Grow My Business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples, all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say grow my business and let us help take you to the next level.
Is the volatility of the stock market driving you crazy? Is your retirement account sinking, yet you're getting older and you're starting to worry about, will I have enough for retirement? What about the money in the bank? These banks pay nothing these days. How do we get growth to get to retirement account? It's simple. Move into gold and silver. Want to know how to do it? Listen to my show, Striking Gold, with me, Kenny Michaels.
It's time for the 2-minute drill. Kayla Anderson has the ball, and she's taking us around the world of football. It's Kayla's 2-minute drill on Matt and Kayla.
NFL training camps are weeks away. Rookies reporting in a matter of days. Yep, football's coming back. And Kayla Anderson has all the biggest stories from around the National Football League from today and over the weekend. Kayla, it's time for your 2-minute drill.
Yeah. Let's get it going. I feel like I'm on Love Island last night trying to hype up the crowd because they did karaoke.
There was a crowd?
Well, they did karaoke last night. It was actually pretty cool.
In front of the other Islanders or other people?
No, the Islanders.
Oh.
But you had to get the crowd going and everything. So I envisioned myself on the stage trying to, be one of those that were going to shock everyone.
Was it like sexy karaoke or did
No,
they just
it was just
sing?
like a duet.
Oh, attractive people singing? Cool.
It was actually a couple of them could sing. I was like, all right, props to you.
You're looking at me, Matt. I gave up on this show like a week ago.
He gave up on it.
It's been such a bad season.
I know it's not been the best. Now, Kimberly in the chat, she has been a part of it, so I'm sure she can appreciate if she watched last night's episode. Anyways, can this guy karaoke? I have no idea, but what he can do is be able to claim that he talks to the Pope because, I wasn't trying to make it a joke.
You got there.
Sorry.
You got there. The plane landed.
Yeah. So anyways, Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears didn't have a good what's the word I'm looking for? Now
track record?
I'm stumbling like you are in terms of getting trademarks because he couldn't get the Iceman trademark.
Oh, yes.
However, he can get a hold of the Pope, and he did so much so, he sent him a autographed jersey.
Hell yeah.
So to Pope Leo, obviously a very big Chicago Bears fan.
That's pretty cool.
So he sent him it, did a little autograph for him, and I mean, it's kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
To be able to say that, hey, I know the Pope, and I sent him an autographed jersey.
That's very
if he actually wanted it.
Oh, you signed this cool receiver or whatever.
Okay.
You improved your defense. That's great. I've got God and God's right-hand man, the Pope.
I don't know if you've seen the picture, but it's him, the Pope's holding up the Caleb Williams jersey.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So not too often you can say that you talk to the Pope and send him your jersey.
Do you think the Pope misses?
He probably blessed the jersey, by the way. Hopefully we win a Super Bowl this year.
The Pope misses church on Sunday to watch the Bears game.
Oh my gosh. If anything, he's got to... You know those commercials when you're at a wedding and they have their cell phones in their laps?
Yes.
He probably has that at his altar.
Hell yeah.
Where he's got it underneath his... you know how they talk from the podium usually? He's got it under there.
The big one for that is college football because weddings usually happen on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes,
put college
do.
football games on.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool story, too, and I'm not even a Chicago Bears or a Caleb Williams fan.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I like it.
And last year, the Bears were a magical team that had crazy wins, so that they had the Pope on their side.
Exactly. So raise your hand if you saw this coming this weekend. Travis, Kelce, and Taylor Swift
Why? What
married.
happened? What'd they do?
Yeah, they got married.
Oh.
And everybody wanted to wonder where it was going to be. Was it really Madison Square Garden? Was it going to be the reception was there and the wedding was somewhere else? Oh, no. It was all at Madison Square Garden. And the amount of people, and I want to say random people at this wedding, makes me wonder, did they really know all these people and invite all these people, or did they really want to make this a spectacle? Because half the people that I saw that were on their way there, some of them I could say, here's the ties, but some of them I'm like, I have no clue.
Oh,
it was a networking event.
Yeah, considering
that was wild.
Adam Sandler officiated the wedding.
it.
I mean, says everything you need to know.
I was having a lot of fun this weekend playing the game of pick a person on the Travis side and pick a person on the Taylor side, and you get like just crazy combinations like Baker Mayfield and Ed Sheeran attending the same wedding, or Juju Smith-Schuster and Camila Cabello attending the same wedding.
It was weird.
Or Peyton Manning and Stevie Nicks attending the same wedding.
I think it could probably be a documentary in the future, or it will be documented, because I don't think you have all those people there just for the heck of it. Like, I do feel like something will come out that is going to show and give an inside look at what this wedding was.
I think Taylor Swift knows that she is a global icon and that everything that she does has to be spectacle. It has to be important to the world. So I think she chose, and Travis was obviously on board because, duh.
Yeah.
She chose to make her wedding into this world spectacle event that, again, we're going to see documentaries or some sort of movie on Netflix or something of behind the scenes of this wedding. I think it's just listen, the wedding is about the bride. Every bride can do what they want. But this was a spectacle showcase of the celebrity that is Taylor Swift.
It's crazy.
And Travis Kelce might have taken her last name too. I don't even know.
I think she.
Flex.
No, I think
of course it's a flex.
I think it came out. She is taking his last name. That is what I.
But there's no way she's going as Taylor Kelce.
Well, I'm not saying that it's like she's gonna.
Yeah, she'll still be. Her stage name is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but she. I mean, officially, she's gonna do that.
Is Taylor Swift even her government name?
I'm just saying.
I don't think it is.
Like a Juju Smith-Schuster, a Taylor Swift hyphenated Kelce jersey goes hard.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. By the way, I just pulled up the list of all the celebrities that have been confirmed to be there, which, by the way, it is long.
Yeah. It's like over 1,000 people.
There's some people here where I'm like, how did you get an invite to this wedding?
Well, a lot of them were plus ones, too, so you have to think about that as well.
Yeah, but Pat McAfee got an invite to this wedding. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stephen Colbert got an invite to this wedding.
It's the most random thing ever, but whatever, to each is your own.
I want to know who the bridesmaids and the groomsmen were.
There wasn't. So Taylor had her brother, and Travis Kelce had his brother. Taylor did not have bridesmaids.
Lame.
So.
Yeah, I think it's probably hard for Taylor Swift to have friends.
From somebody who got married.
She's not like Selena Gomez.
From somebody who got married, and there's a lot that goes into picking bridesmaids. Let me tell you something. It's not an easy task. People get pissed off, especially a person like Taylor who's had a lot of past friends that are kind of still in her life, but many like current friends. I just don't think it's like something she wanted to do.
Malcolm X got me on YouTube. The divorce will be at the Sphere.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
By the way, the last I found the funniest one on here. Aaron Andrews got an invite to this wedding.
Yeah, well, Carissa Thompson did too. I was already talking to Matt about that. I don't understand that either. Moving on to a better thing in terms of what I think is the ice bucket challenge is back.
Yeah.
And from someone who did the ice bucket challenge way back in like 2012.
Yep.
And I did the whole like Gatorade bucket with the Arizona women's basketball team. They poured an actual ice bucket over me. None of this like cup thing or a little bowl. Like if you're going to do it right. But props to Chris Johnson. Unfortunately just diagnosed with ALS about a week and a half ago. But he came out and said, I'm bringing this back to raise awareness for this awful disease. Yeah. And the amount of people who have come out in the last week, like obviously a lot of NFL guys, former NFL guys. It's so cool. So if you get a chance, be a part of it. I think it's a really cool thing.
But you have to do it better than Kayla did it, or she'll...
Well, I'm sorry. Don't do like a bowl of water. That's not an ice bucket challenge. An ice bucket challenge is doing what I did and going and getting a Gatorade full of ice water that you get doused on when you're a coach, when you win a game. And that's the way to do it. None of this pee-wee stuff.
Kayla getting competitive over the ice bucket challenge is my favorite part of this.
None of this pee-wee stuff,
By the way,
folks.
why has there not been anything similar to that in recent years? Like,
I
is it
don't
just
know.
the internet is such an awful place
Probably.
that we can't have moments like that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And again, if you're a team out there like Sac State, I'll come over there. If we want to do the ice bucket challenge and you got a Gatorade bucket, I'll do it. I'll
But none of the Pee Wee
participate.
stuff. It has to be a Gatorade bucket.
none of this
If it's a
Pee Wee
bowl,
stuff.
she ain't doing it.
No, that's Pee Wee.
We don't do Pee Wee ice bucket
No,
challenges
does Chris
here.
Johnson want to see a Pee Wee bucket? No.
I don't. What?
He said, do the real ice bucket. What, you want?
Yeah, I'm scared too, Matt. Don't.
Matt would be fine with the Pee Wee bucket.
Why are we calling it that?
Okay, y'all get out of your dirty minds.
Listen, I just
Pee Wee football,
When-
like small.
when I did it,
Small
it was
bucket.
probably like the size of like a.
No, it's like.
No, it wasn't
I'm
like a.
participating
Yeah.
in the ice bucket challenge. Here's my half
You already
cup
spilled
of water.
once. Stop.
I didn't do
put
the
an
ice
ice
bucket.
cube in a shot glass and poured it over my head.
You suck.
No, I did not do that.
Get
But it-
out of
it was
here.
probably
Wait,
like
I
a
gotta
pop-
find this.
Like a popcorn bowl size.
I didn't do the ice bucket challenge because I was 10 years old.
Right.
Well, that you can.
I did mine in college.
Chris Henry's, the late Chris Henry played for the Bengals. Unfortunate situation. His kids all did it. He's got some younger kids too. They all did the.
I
ice bucket challenge.
missed out on it when I was a kid. I didn't understand the internet yet,
No, I get you. If we do find that photo of it, can you put it up? It's pretty funny.
What photo?
Of me getting doused with
Yeah,
ice
if you send it to me,
bucket.
I'll put it up on the YouTube.
Okay, I'll try to find it.
Shouldn't do no Pee Wee bucket.
Pee Wee bucket, get out of here.
By
with
the
them
way,
Pee Wee
another
buckets.
funny one. Gronk and Selena Gomez attended the same wedding
Oh,
somehow
God.
in this universe.
Love that.
Oh, maybe you can find your future husband there or future wife.
I don't know if they're going to be saying Gronk is boyfriend material.
Listen, we know what goes down in the Olympic Village. All I'm saying is the after party of that was probably
Jeez
nuts.
Louise.
I'm just saying. The after party of that after
Sheesh.
weddings was probably crazy. Just say that. We'll take the break. When we come back, DeMar DeRozan is no longer a King. He has been waived. What does this mean for him? What does this mean for the Sacramento Kings going forward? How does this free up opportunities for them financially? And we'll talk about tonight's final California Classic game. We don't know who's playing in it, but we can assume and we can have our wish list of what we'd like to see. It's Matt and Kayla starting the final hour of the show next on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is taking over NBA Summer League. Join Jason Ross, Whitey Gleason, and Alan Stiles as they broadcast live from Las Vegas, July 13th through the 17th. Presented by Power Business Technology. Over the air, online, and on location, Sactown Sports 1140 is your eyes and ears for all things Sacramento Kings this summer.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento's best selection, best quality, and lowest prices on kitchen and bath products are at the new Anova Cabinet and Stone. For a limited time, get stunning new quartz countertops starting at just $159. That's right, only $159 for gorgeous quartz countertops. Listen to this. For a limited time, cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms are up to 50% off. Yes, up to 50% off new cabinets. It's a must-see, the new Anova Cabinet and Stone at Florin Road and Highway 99. Learn more at AnovaCabinetStone.com.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Noah.
My first car was a 2001 Dodge Neon with a blue wing, and it happened to match my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife, her black 2005. So my uncle has been in the industry for well over 25 years. He recommended Rock Auto immediately to buy my first set of brakes. I would recommend Rock Auto just because it's simple, it's easy to find the parts you're looking for, it's all at a good price.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back with up to 12 hours of back pain relief. With just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
If you're just tuning in and missed the news earlier today, it is official, according to Shams Charania, that the Sacramento Kings and DeMar DeRozan are parting ways. The Kings deciding to waive DeRozan and pay him out the $10 million that's fully guaranteed of his $25 million contract. We all saw this coming. The Kings will now have until August to basically decide whether or not to stretch and waive DeRozan, which would mean that $10 million would be stretched out and be $3+ million per year over the next 3 years. That would ultimately give them more cap space to be able to make some more moves right now. It just spreads that money out a little bit longer, and DeMar will be paid that regardless of what he signs and what new deal that he goes out and gets. Is there are reportedly a number of contenders interested in bringing him in and interested in his services. From Bobby Marks of ESPN, including the $10 million salary for the 26-27 season, Sacramento is now $1.8 million above the luxury tax. They have $3.85 million in unlikely bonuses counting against the apron for them. But the Sacramento Kings financially in a significantly better spot now after this move than they were just a few hours ago. It's a financial flexibility move that needed to happen, and they're also doing right by DeMar.
Yeah, it's best for both sides. And I think that the question that a lot of people are talking about in our YouTube chat, which, by the way, you can watch us on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe as well and like. But is like, okay, where could he go where he could have a chance to compete? And I'm sure, again, we'll be talking about this for the next few weeks and weeks to come if that might be the case, because he will end up somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he has particular spots in mind. But when it comes to the Kings, it was the best move for them. Absolutely. First of all, the money thing. We've talked about the big contracts and unfortunately not able to right now get off the the Zach LaVine contract. It doesn't look like that's going to happen for Domantas Sabonis. Mm-hmm. Those are what they are. Mm-hmm. But this we saw coming for the last few weeks. It's been out there reported that they were trying to trade him. Obviously, they couldn't do it. So now you're saving, I'm not saving, but you're figuring out a little bit of the money with where are they at right now?
So according to Bobby Marks, as of right now, they're just like $1.8 million above the luxury tax. Okay. So it's unclear about that. I'm not sure if that's taking into account if they were to stretch and waive. The reason why they're kicking it down the road till August is technically if the Kings, it gives the Kings time if they were to make other moves to financially put themselves in a better position. They won't have to stretch it. They'll just pay the $10 million outright if they need to.
If they need to. My biggest question now is like, will there be any other, even if we put away the Sabonis and Levine talk, unless something happens in the next couple of months with that, is there any other moves?
Yes.
Because I do believe there's still some that could come.
So by getting under the first apron, they open up the full mid-level exception, which is roughly $15 million. Now, they use the biannual exception, which is a lesser version of the mid-level exception, in order to sign Precious Achiuwa to his deal, which was roughly $6 million a year. So now, essentially, $6 million of that MLE will go to Precious Achiuwa. If I'm understanding this correctly, that means roughly, let's say, $8 or $9 million is still available in the MLE for them to go out and get another player.
Right.
And we've speculated, and this is something we're going to talk about tomorrow. We've speculated whether or not they're going to try to use that money to bring in a backup point guard because they don't have one as of right now. Now, I personally believe
like Monk as that.
I think you're just fine for next season with Malik, and I'd rather see them use that $8 or $9 million in a different way. Plus, again, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Looking at the available point guard free agents, the list is not super enticing.
It's not.
With DeMar being waived, though, he now immediately becomes one of the top free agents available. I would argue, as of right now, of free agents available, he's number 4 on this list. It's LeBron James, number 1, of course. It's James Harden, number 2. It's Draymond Green, number 3. And it's DeMar DeRozan in my mind. Other names that are still available, like Chris Middleton, who we've heard rumored to be going to Miami to play with Giannis.
But his body is broken.
Yes. There's Jonathan Kuminga.
Right.
You could, in theory, use the $8 or $9 million of that MLE to bring in Kuminga if he doesn't have a market whatsoever. I don't know if they do that, but in theory, you could do that. Kelly Olynyk, Matisse Thybulle. Hey, Russell Westbrook's still there. So there are names, but DeMar is immediately one of the top free agents available now.
I still am not completely sold that they're not going to bring back Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I'm not sold on that at all.
I still think, like, the words in my head that Scott Perry said at the end of the year of like, oh, Russell's more than welcome to come back. Like, he pretty much was like, it was like an invite in a way to be like, if you want to come back. Now, again, there's stipulations to that. And I'm sure if they laid that out for him, there would be a lot of like, well, this is what it's going to look like. This is kind of your role. So that's really pretty much up to Russell Westbrook if he'd want to sign up for that. But I do believe the invitation would be open.
I think Russ would sign it back with the Sacramento Kings if no other NBA team was lining up to sign him.
Yeah, which we haven't heard anything.
Well, we've heard Washington. The
I guess we
Wizards
did.
are
We did
interested,
hear Washington.
and Washington's going to be a much better, much more.
I forgot
let's put it
about
this way.
that.
Washington might be playing a lot more meaningful games than the Sacramento Kings this year, of course, and he would be backing up Trae Young and joining that team over there. So, let's put it this way: if there's 2 offers on the table for the exact same amount of money, Russell Westbrook should take Washington over Sacramento. If there's 2 offers on the table and the Kings are offering, the Wizards are offering the vet minimum, and the Kings are offering the rest of the MLE, which is, let's say, $8.5 million. Even if that $8.5 million is more than the vet minimum, if I'm Russ, I'm taking Washington. I think it just makes more sense for him to go that route. And I don't think, how do I say this? I think the Kings are just fine with Russ moving on.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll see. Out of all of the potential point guards out there, bringing back a veteran that's at least familiar with what you're doing makes more sense than like a Gabe Vincent in my mind. But I'm not thrilled by. Again, I would just rather Malik Monk be your backup point guard for for this season. You're already paying him, and you're not going to be able to move that contract. Just have him be your backup point guard and whatever.
But I will say this: like, would you be? And I know, I think Monk is somebody that young guys can learn certain things from, for sure. But, let's say in no world would I want this to happen, but something happened to Acuff, and Malik was pretty much the only guy. That's where I start to worry a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying?
I 100% understand what you're saying. If something happens to Acuff, then the season's cooked anyway.
Yeah.
Acuff is the most important part of the Sacramento Kings season, and for the next couple of seasons, Acuff is going to be the most important part. But that's a kind of a throwaway statement as someone who doesn't have to deal with the day-to-day of that scenario happening. So you're completely, I think we've seen how much the Kings value the point guard position to where my belief is they're going to bring in another point guard. I don't know who that is. And I guess Russell Westbrook should be at the front of that line because of the familiarity. I just think it would be in Russ's best interest to go anywhere else, especially if a team like Washington is interested in him.
So we look at the moves made by Scott in terms of getting off of some of these older, not all of them older, but former players that we thought they needed to move on from. So Devin Carter is obviously
He's
one
gone.
of the most recent ones.
As a salary dump.
Now DeMar Rosen.
Yep.
You could count Drew Eubanks and Doug McDermott. They just didn't bring him back.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
So, I mean, when you're looking at this roster right now as a whole, guys, the veterans on this team currently, and I say veterans, I'm not going to put Precious in that. I know he is an older player than some of these rookies, but he's still new to what this group is trying to do.
My favorite line from
It's
Precious
so
last
weird.
season.
I don't know. He's a tweener?
No, he's a young. My favorite line from Precious was when he was like, "I'm not old.
Yeah.
I'm not like an
I
old
thought
guy."
it was so great.
But I hear what you're saying because the veteran term we've been labeling to 30-year-olds.
Yeah,
that's not Precious,
right? So I guess like the two biggies that just remain are Zach LaVine and
Domas. I would put. I don't know. Malik, I don't think it's 30. I think it's like 28 or 29.
I know. I still don't put Malik in that spot, but I kind of do.
Malik
yeah.
there. I think Malik
and he's part of the older.
He's very much a veteran in this league and more on the realm of not part of the future than he is
Turns
part of the
29 next season.
29.
Okay.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, I would probably say more so with you then.
So I'd put Malik in there.
Yeah. But does that mean maybe he's someone they would move on from?
I think the Kings would move on from Malik absolutely if there was a market.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, this is Malik's 10th year in the league.
Yeah, Malik's been in the league as long as De'Aaron.
Yeah, no, that's a veteran then.
Yeah, no, he's very much a veteran.
He's a vet. I always
you
kind
get
of
lifetime health care.
I know. I don't mean to, but I always kind of forget.
Well, because he's such youthful energy.
I know.
Malik is just a vibe.
And he's the pizza guy. Come on.
No, I think Malik
I'm a pizza guy.
I think Malik is sticking around. Like the Kings, this is not new news to anybody. The Kings aggressively tried to move on from Malik last offseason. It's not because they hate Malik or anything like that. It doesn't have to ever be personal. Scott Perry's proven like he can have a real conversation without crossing any kind of boundaries of he doesn't personally like a player, whether it's Zach LaVine and his opinions on Zach LaVine from his podcast or like I don't think Malik Monk fits Scott Perry's vision for the Sacramento Kings. But Malik's on this contract that the Kings gave him, not Scott, but Monty McNair gave him, that I don't think is a bad contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very much a Malik Monk fan. I'm a huge Malik Monk fan. I think Malik is a very, very capable. I know as a scoring guard that's not a true point guard archetype, he's an archetype of smaller guard that is being phased out of the NBA more and more right now. I acknowledge where the NBA is going, but that doesn't mean you write off a player that has the talent and the ability that Malik Monk has. And Malik Monk, at his best, was a very impactful bench player that brought energy, that brought a scoring punch, is really good in the pick and roll, which is why I think he's more than capable of holding down the point guard position for 15 minutes a night while Darius Acuff gets a breather. And now if there's an injury, that's a completely fair conversation that we could talk about. But I think Malik is not massively overpaid. He's paid $20 million this year and like $21 million player option next year. Is it overpay? Probably for what he is at this point in his career, but it doesn't kill me that it's on the Sacramento Kings, and it's certainly not as debilitating as the $49 million and $46 million dude that you got. Like, I just don't think the Kings are going to be able to move Malik. And I don't hate that. I'm fine with it.
I actually don't hate it, and I don't hate it for this reason. I know that Zach LaVine is a veteran player. I know Domantas Sabonis is a veteran player. Malik Monk is also a veteran player, but I feel like from what I get from Malik and kind of how it, again, he's very honest. Mm-hmm. He's kind of in a way blunt, but he's not afraid to be outspoken.
He's a vibe.
Which, guess what? Sometimes that's good for a team.
Right.
To have someone like that. And it's sometimes good for younger players. I think sometimes with Zach, and what I'm starting to feel from Sabonis right now, at least in his career, is the team great, but it doesn't feel like it's their whole like absolute like life. Like it's not like they're like ride or die like this. I'm going to do everything I can for the team. I'm going to be in there always for my young guy. I just, again, I'm not trying to put shame on them.
No.
I see Malik more like that guy in the locker room than I do Sabonis and Zach at this point of their career.
Sure.
And it might be because they know they're not going to be here for long either.
Yeah, I think it's hard to commit fully to something, regardless of how much you're being paid. It's hard to fully commit to something that you know does not view you as a long-time part of the plan. I think Malik, Domas, and Zach LaVine are all fully aware of that. Does that mean they're going to be unprofessional? No. I saw a comment earlier when we were talking about Keegan Murray's there at the game.
Yeah.
At the game supporting the rookies. I saw a comment, where's Sabonis?
Right.
Well, Sabonis is at home with his child in Napa, also recouping from a partially torn meniscus that he had to have surgery on, and he was away from the team for the vast majority of the end of the season.
Yeah.
Does that make Sabonis a bad teammate? No, that was his prerogative to do, and I'm sure the Kings are more than happy to let him rest up and be there. So it doesn't matter.
He, by the way, reached out to...
he texted Caravan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, and Sabonis is not a bad teammate by any means. And same thing. It's like the same thing. The conversations around Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine is definitely more of a hostage here than he is a volunteer. That being said, he chose to take the money to stay here, which a lot of us would struggle to walk away willingly from $49 million, of course. Zach has never shown signs of being a bad teammate. He was very involved while he was here, even when he wasn't playing. There can be massive questions about what Zach LaVine looks like for the future, and does he fit, and is it in the Kings' best interest for him to be here? But it's not from a toxicity standpoint. But Zach has his family. I want to say he has multiple kids. I know that for sure. I want to say he has 3 kids because he had a baby right before he was traded to Sacramento, him and his lovely wife. Domantas Sabonis has his kid, his son, and they have their winery up in Napa. Malik Monk had a baby this season.
Does he have a place here?
Malik?
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure, right?
I would assume so.
I think he,
and I'm clarifying all that to say, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Kayla. Kayla's not bringing up like you can't have a personal life outside of the game, but those three guys, in particular LaVine and Sabonis, are at a point in their career where they're searching for winning and comfort and the money that comes with it, which makes sense versus a lot of the guys the Kings are bringing in are hungry for opportunity and ready to go wherever they need to go in order to take that opportunity. Yeah. It's not a negative thing by any means for these players. It's just a new era of Sacramento Kings basketball is beginning, and Scott Perry is very clearly trying to respectfully and properly usher out the old and bring in the new. And he's not just going to dump players that have value. He's not just going to send guys home and say you're not I never subscribed to that belief with Zach LaVine being here. I think he's going to try to do, and Doug is going to try and do what's best for the team, which could involve Zach LaVine in a specific role while Zach is still here. What that looks like, we'll have to wait until training camp to get our first glimpse at.
And that's still the tougher part of Doug Christie's job, because Scott Perry, is doing his job and starting to form a roster that he thinks will eventually be culture based on what he wants it to be, but also the style and everything that he's looking for. And the thing is, though, is those are Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis. Those are 2 names that are still, like you said, they're going to be starting. They're going to want minutes. You want their trade value to go up, hopefully, after coming off of 2 rough seasons and injuries for those 2. It is, though, very intriguing to see how that will work.
Yeah.
And how Doug will maneuver that, too. It is, I don't know, because we don't hear from Zach or Sabonis a lot.
Right.
So we just don't know what their thoughts are.
I believe, because we saw the rumors and the reports when all the Jalen Duren stuff was picking up steam, and that's cooled off drastically, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But we heard these reports, hey, Sabonis is ready for a change of scenery. And some people took that a certain type of way. Why?
Yeah,
I think we're all ready for Sabonis to change scenery.
It's
why?
Okay.
That doesn't mean he's forcing his way out or anything like that. And does that mean maybe he falls more on the hostage versus volunteer line? Maybe. But these guys also have a job to do, and they have contracts to uphold. And these are contracts that Scott Perry inherited. So this is why, especially with Domas, but Zach is in this category too. While they're still here, they should very much be a part of what you're doing. Perry would be, in my mind, dumb to try to force a build around Domas. So he's not going to do it because Domas, who he is as a center, requires a very specific group of players around him to succeed. And that makes things very difficult for a rebuilding team who now is significantly limiting the assets that they need to bring in order to make it work with him. And the biggest criticism with Sabonis outside of his impact in the playoffs is you're paying somebody max money whose first impulse is not to score the basketball. So Domas, while he might average 20 points a game during the regular season, maybe he's not ever going to be that go-to scorer that the Kings need and rely upon that you're hoping Darius Acuff is going to be, which is why you're trying to build around him. So it makes sense for Scott to want to move on from Domas. Mm-hmm. It makes sense for Domas to want to move on to where he could be a damn good Robin for a new Batman in some other city where he's going to be playing far more meaningful basketball than in Sacramento. But if Domas is still here and if Zach LaVine is still here, like Scott Perry said on these airwaves last week, if they're here, the expectation is they're going to be fully bought into what we're doing. And I believe both of those guys will be professional enough to, at the very least, do their job here in Sacramento. But what that job is, that's up for Doug to figure out.
And what that is looking like is going to be the question mark. Because, again, we keep saying, what will Acuff and LaVine look like on the floor together when both of them are not playing well defensively? Mm-hmm. I mean, Acuff can improve. Uh-huh. Zach's kind of just set in his ways that it is what it is. Like, I'm sure he'll give effort, but that's going to be a question. How does it look,
In addition to his money, it's easier to buy out DeMar DeRozan. A key reason why you move on from DeMar DeRozan is because he, in many ways, stands in front of playing time of some of the other young guys. Yeah. Do I think the Kings would have not liked to have DeMar DeRozan back? Hell no. I think, funny enough, if you were to take their money out of it and put LaVine, DeRozan, Sabonis, Scott, pick the one you'd most like to be here that fits your pillars. I think DeRozan might be the guy, but on the court, DeRozan might be the worst fit out of the three because of how he plays.
Exactly.
That being said, Zach LaVine, I don't think directly gets in the way of other guys. Nique Clifford is like the first guy that jumps to mind, but I don't view Nique as a starting two guard in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I don't. Domantas Sabonis does stand in the way of Maxime Reynaud and Dylan Cardwell in terms of playing time because Domas has to play if he's here. But if the Kings can find a way to incorporate a pass-first center who his impulse is to get his teammates involved, if they can find a way to incorporate him to where it doesn't completely hamstring and cut off the opportunities of the other centers, there's no time crunch. Yeah. Impatiently, it's like I want to see them move on because I want to see what they can get and give Max and Dylan the full green light. That's impatience. But if the Kings realistically have to ride out another year or two of Domas being here in Sacramento, as long as it doesn't completely hamstring the other young centers, there's not a super sense of urgency for Scott to just take whatever deal he could get for Domas. And we've seen that.
Right. Okay, so then let me put out this question.
Sure.
Because what we're doing a lot of okay, well, what ifs, or what if he's not in the lineup, but he is? And there's a lot of still experimenting, I feel, that they're going to have to do.
Big time.
Now, will this experimenting be something that they're starting to do this with the roster now kind of coming into play of maybe what it is going to be. But do we see a lot of this experimenting to start the season, or is this going to be taken care of prior to that?
Oh, no.
So we're going to see coming out of the gates, y'all, it might not be pretty.
We're going to see
at first.
We're going to see an experiment from the get-go.
Yeah.
And that experiment is what you do at the 4.
Yep.
Because you might experiment with what do Hunter and Keegan look like together. If you play Precious at the 4, that's probably the most safe option or familiar option of Doug Christie. But what are you experimenting with? Now you're experimenting with Keegan Murray at the 3 full-time with a point guard that's a rookie and Darius Acuff Jr. If you go the 2 center route, that's going to be a massive experiment.
Thing.
If you go, is it Max and Domas? Defensively, I'm concerned.
Right.
But Max could, in theory, space the floor. And that allows you to experiment with Domas at the 4, which a lot of people believe Domas is more of a 4 than a 5. Well, that makes sense if Dylan Cardwell is the 5.
Yeah.
But you're not starting Dylan Cardwell over Maxime right now. So the 2 center lineup has to be Max and Domas, right? That's a major experiment. And then your experiment off the bench is, what do these combinations look like? It's an experiment of what the hell does your backcourt do defensively if it's Acuff and Zach LaVine together? And can Nique slide in next to Acuff to take that defensive pressure? Is it Emmanuel Sharp, who's the 45th overall pick? This entire Kings team is a walking experiment.
It is. So for us to think at all that we know what's going to happen coming out of this, in terms of coming out of the gates, look, we're going to be having a lot of these conversations, and there's probably going to be frustration,
of course,
of what's Doug doing.
Of course.
But right now, he's still being handled an experiment. It's a different experiment, but it is still an experiment.
And I would argue that he has more freedom to experiment now than he did before.
That's a good point.
Which is good. He couldn't. I think Doug was very hamstrung on what he could experiment with last year because of the amount of roster or veterans on this roster. He was forced to experiment because his freaking roster was hurt every damn 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So that forced him to experiment a little bit. But I would argue you got 82 games of Doug trying to figure things out. But he's got, like, going back to the old corkboard analogy, he's got a lot of different storylines and pieces to manage.
Strings.
He doesn't want to micromanage, but priority 1 is Acuff. Like, that is priority number 1. Priority 2 in my mind is continuing the development of the other young guys and incorporating the vision or the identity that you want to incorporate. Priority number 3 is making sure Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis do enough to increase their trade value so you could potentially move on from both or one of them at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
It's a jigsaw puzzle.
You know that little GIF on X that's like, it's the stick that's like, do something?
Yeah, come on,
like,
do something.
That's what it's going to be like with Zach and Domantas Sabonis. Do something.
Score. Put up good numbers so we can trade you. Yeah. I don't envy Doug's position.
No,
but I'm fascinated by it.
I am so intrigued
Yeah.
with how all these pieces fit together.
Training
or
camp's going to be
start
fun.
to fit together.
Training camp's
I'm
going to be
pumped.
very fun. Preseason's going to be very, very interesting. Especially,
It might be frustrating.
Oh, for sure.
But it'll be fun.
It's going to be frustrating, but we'll have plenty to talk about, that's for sure. We'll take the break. When we return, let's check in on our very short MLB mini-series update. We'll start a new week of the mini-seasons, and, well, my A's are in bad shape.
Yeah, they are.
Let's put it that way. We'll talk about that next when we return. Plus, crosstalk with Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.
Take Sactown Sports with you everywhere you go with the Sactown Sports app. The most in-depth coverage of the Kings and 49ers. A library of written and video content. And all your favorite personalities all in one place. Download the Sactown Sports app today and get in on the action. Your local sports leader, Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, the Sacramento heat. Right now, get your AC professionally tuned up for as low as just $59 and enjoy your summer nice and cool. Plumbing, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com. Summer restrictions apply. License 696-355.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery.
One of the most common questions I receive is, what makes us different from other law firms? At Gingery, Hammer & Associates, we handle your case from beginning to the end. Whether your case reaches a settlement, whether it must go into litigation, or whether it has to go all the way to trial, we will be with you along the entire way. And because we are committed to your case, we are as invested as you are in making sure you get the outcome you deserve.
When you get an injury, just call Gingery.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. As many of you know, my song Winning Streak is about my own personal struggles with addiction. I first sought help for my addiction at 14 years old. Start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org. The real you is worth recovering. Choose Change California provides access to proven treatment options for addiction to opioids and stimulants. ChooseChangeCA.org. This is your chance to recover your life.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Guys, my A's are in trouble. They are in trouble.
Wait, 88 wins isn't going to happen?
At this point, they might get lucky to get 88.
Who could have seen this coming?
The A's have lost 7 of their last 8 games. They're 3-11 since June 20th.
Oh, that's not good.
The A's, guys, remember when they were number 1 in the AL West? Remember that? When they had a multiple game lead over the Seattle Mariners? They're now 4th!
Yeah.
The Astros caught you.
They're 4th.
Yeah, that's not good.
They're 5.5 games back of first now.
It's
I know there's plenty of
crazy
season left,
how
but
quick it
come
happens.
on.
It happened so quick though. Like that's the thing. Remember what happened last year with their bad month, and then it just was out of reach, even when they did play good baseball down the stretch.
They are supposed to be an offensive juggernaut of a team. By the way, Nick Kurtz is still having a phenomenal season. He's going to be an all-star.
And Langoliers.
And Langoliers, too, which is awesome. Yeah. Nick is actually, he's battling Yordan Alvarez right now for AL MVP. That's how good he's playing, which is awesome. But you're supposed to be an offensively gifted team in an offensively prominent ballpark. The A's have the second worst home record in the American League. They're 19-28 at Sutter Health Park. The only team worse is the Boston Red Sox at 17-27. There are 2 other teams in the National League with 19 wins at home. One of them is the New York Mets. Then the Giants are 18 wins at home, and the Nationals are 18 wins at home. You're amongst the bottom of the league at home. How?
Yeah, and this is what I'm scared of too. I'm just scared of it goes back to at some point the conversation of like, again, I know it's a hitter-friendly park, clearly, but it's not our ballpark, like it's not our home. Like I don't like that for just all of those reasons.
Get your ass to Vegas with that.
Right?
Just take that. Go in your shiny hot
Because I want to see what it
ballpark.
I want to see if that ever changes in the next few years.
Seems
down
like
the road.
everyone else comes into Sutter Health Park and hits a bunch of bombs.
Oh, that sounds like when other teams come into Golden One Center and hit a bunch of threes.
What did we do wrong? Is it in our water?
Well, in Golden One Center, it's the sight lines. Everyone says the sight lines are nice.
Except for the home team.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards loves the Golden One
I guess it's just they're maybe used to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the A's problem is just their pitching sucks. I mean, that's kind of the explanation.
And LeDrew Down makes a good point. It's not much of a home field advantage, Matt. No, I 100% understand.
Yeah.
Like we saw when the Dodgers were here, we saw when the Yankees and Giants are here. I'm aware how many opposing teams' fans come into Sutter Health Park. Like the A's haven't had a home field advantage for a long time. Let's be honest. I'm a diehard Oakland A's fan. I love my people in Oakland. They did not deserve to lose their team, and they are wonderful, dedicated, incredibly passionate fans. But because of the stupidity and cheapness of John Fisher as an owner, they were very much forced out and pushed out and blamed in the process for some reason. The A's have not really had a home field advantage for a long time outside of the amount of foul ball territory that there was at the Oakland Coliseum. But I don't care how many fans are in the stands cheering for you. That doesn't replace the fact that the ball flies out of Sutter Health Park and your lineup is full of pop. To be fair, they've been dealing with massive injuries too. Brent Rooker had season-ending surgery.
Yeah.
So no more
and
Brent
Jacob
Rooker.
Wilson's not been, maybe what we needed him to be.
He's been
a
right.
little bruised too. Bumped and
Shea
bruised.
Langoliers was really good to start the season. He's quieted down a little bit, and then they've just dealt with injuries after injuries. Like Zach Geloff was back, was playing really well, got hurt. Tyler Soderstrom in and out of the lineup. Like, it's just been
By the way, they also went on that whole going to play in the random ballpark in Vegas too.
Hitting 1,000
Such
homers
a
in one game.
weird thing for baseball players, especially, are so superstitious. They're so regimented because they play so many games. Man, I will say this: they are thrown for a loop every time.
But the afternoon show, the Drive guys, they've talked about this a lot too, and they're right. Like, the A's organization does not care about being good.
No.
The players do. Mark Kotsay does. The organization does not care about this team being good. They're just riding this circus out until they get to their shiny new ballpark. But hey, we can go play a weekend in Vegas, and hey, you can go do this and do that and whatever. We'll have the Dodgers in town and sell all our tickets to Dodgers fans. We don't care. Like, it's
sad.
It's obvious.
Hence why they traded Mason Miller.
Right, they traded Mason Miller. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm excited about Leo DeVries, but you sure could use a freaking closer right now.
But they specifically told you with that move, we don't care about winning these next 2 to 3 years. Right. So what is the point of having Mason Miller?
And then Nick Kurtz took the field, hit 1,000 homers, and oh crap, let's try and pay him while he's cheap. And he said no because he's smart. Ugh. Damn it.
I don't know. I mean, the people who signed the contracts, it's looking pretty good for them. Butler got that big deal.
Oh, geez.
Jacob Wilson's had a tough
year. What is
year.
Butler even at right now, average-wise?
He's still in the 190s.
He is struggle bus.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm going to guess 198.
Oof. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's
I think Soderstrom I saw is hurt too.
Oh, is that true? Oh, no, that's 4-year career. I was like, he's
batting you're like, wait a second.
Oh, hey, he's up to 202.
Oh, there we go.
He's in the 200s.
All right, he's on a surge, baby.
His WAR is -0.9.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that part. Yeah, things aren't going great for the Athletics, but that's okay because your boy's an 8-time champ. Yep.
Oh,
8-time mini-seasons champion. Hooray me. Yay
now
me.
It's not even fun.
Winning a useless award. That's what I do.
It says you won last week, Kayla.
Yeah, you were having a lot of fun last week.
What? Well, that's because I'm not an 8-time champ. So when I win, it still is like, okay, this is
so
exciting.
are you saying, am I the Warriors? Am I boring?
Did you just hear yourself? Yay, cool. Yeah, 8-time champ.
No, that's the energy after. Champ. Hey, I just talked about my baseball team is trash again. But now I'm like, that's the energy.
That should get you going.
Woo!
Where's the trophy at?
8-time champ.
Bring it on over. Whatever's left of it.
Don't break it.
What's left of it?
Don't break it anymore. Yes, I am an 8-time champion. Wednesday was hilarious for a lot of reasons because Wednesday, technically, Kyle and I were competing last week to see who could win this week. Well, once the Guardians beat the Rangers 9-4, we knew Kyle had to win.
Yeah.
And he had to win by, what was it, like a...
Plus 9 runs.
By 9 runs?
Yeah.
So his Padres lost to the Cubs 23-3.
Goodness.
Yeah,
gracious.
that was crazy.
And then Kayla, you picked the Diamondbacks over the Giants, and the Giants won, of course.
Hey, the Padres are turning around. They won 1 out of 4 against the Dodgers.
Hey, there you go, Padres.
There you go.
Good for y'all. The A's also got a win against the Dodgers for no reason. All right.
The Padres and A's, both the worst teams in baseball the last 3 weeks.
So here we are, another week. Kayla, you get first pick with your 37-31 overall record. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. I will be going with the Dodgers. I'm playing the Rockies tonight, too.
I put Daughters.
Daughters.
Daughters. Wasn't that a John Mayer song?
Sure.
Yeah, actually, one of the good ones.
Kyle?
One of the good ones is crazy.
He had a lot of good ones. I was going to say something, but that's too much information.
John Mayer's good. I will take...
I'll tell you out there.
Go with the Brewers. Nisarowski's got to pitch at some point.
And I will go Braves. All right, Kayla.
Give me a second here.
Come on, Kayla. We got to get to drive, guys.
I'll go with the Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go with Tampa Bay.
You had the Rays last week.
Oh, I did? Dang.
Whew.
You took the Cubs, you said?
Yeah.
I'll take the Braves.
I took the Braves. I took the Braves first round.
Damn.
Kyle's locked in. So many to choose from.
I know.
There's so little good teams in baseball.
You can take your Finns.
I took them last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Takes them almost every week you can.
Yeah. I will go with the Mariners.
Damn it.
Good choice. I will go with the Rays.
Kayla. My Mariners.
Kayla.
Yeah, I know. I was
Kayla.
about to take the Mariners. Do you want to slap across your face and I'd start to pipe it down over there?
Aggressive.
I'm gonna go with them White Sox, baby.
Damn White Sox.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm going to bet against the Padres and take the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays. Okay. And I will go the A's because they're going to turn it around against the Tigers.
They're gonna do it.
They're going to do it.
Okay. Ugh.
Yeah?
Somebody did take the Rays?
Yes.
Okay. Of course they did. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Tigers because I want us to go up against each other on Thursday.
Okay.
Can't believe no one's taking the Phillies yet. I'll take the Phillies.
And the Phillies, I will go. I'm gonna go the Rangers. They're taking on the Angels this week.
Okay.
Final pick.
Did anybody take the Yankees?
No.
They're not good right now.
Yeah,
but
they've been pretty bad.
I feel like at some point they gotta turn it around. I'm gonna take the Yankees.
Against Tampa, all right?
No, I'm gonna take them on Friday.
Oh, who do they play?
The Nats.
Oh, that's not a bad pick. Let's see, who's favored tonight? Padres are favored against the Diamondbacks. Don't believe in that. You know what? I'm gonna go off the board a little bit. I'll take the Washington Nationals tonight.
Ooh, I like that.
Because they're playing Houston.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I will go lastly.
Today.
Matt. Pick Matt.
Well, I was gonna go the Nationals. You threw me off. I'll go Reds. Why not? All right, there you go. And as for tonight's matchups, Kayla, you're going Dodgers over
Rockies. Yeah.
Rockies.
Yep.
I will go Braves over whoever they're playing. If I forget.
Braves and Mets.
Braves, Mets, and
I've got Nationals over the Astros.
Nationals over the Astros. Okay. That is our MLB mini seasons. We'll take the break. When we come back, we've got Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, their reactions to the DeMar DeRozan wave news, and more. All their California Classic recaps as well. The Drive Guys. Join us next for a little crosstalk on Sactown Sports.
After 2 seasons in Sacramento, the Kings have parted ways with forward DeMar DeRozan. With one of the team's top scorers and veteran leaders now gone, who will step up to fill DeRozan shoes.
Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Sactown Sports 1140.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got 'em. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your savings? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Text SECURE to 989898.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave.
What's up? It's Matt George.
What's good? It's Alan Stiles.
With the most trusted voices in the community.
This is Jason Ross.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson.
It's Whitey Gleason.
Ready to help promote your business, both as partners and customers. All you have to do is ask. Pick up the phone, dial pound 250 and say, grow my business to get connected with a team member today. That's pound 250 and say, grow my business. Our team will review your product, quickly pair you with a perfect endorser, and create video and audio samples, all at no cost or obligation to you. With the most live and local on-air lineup, a dynamic content-driven website, and a state-of-the-art mobile app, Sactown Sports 1140 is tailor-made to help you connect with a sports audience in Sacramento. So why wait? Dial pound 250 today. Say, grow my business, and let us help take you to the next level.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today.
Visit therollingstoneshop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Good news to any Kings fan heading out to the Golden One Center for the final night of the California Classic tonight. And hey, maybe this will change your mind if you're on the fence about getting tickets. According to KCRA3's Sean Cunningham, Darius Acuff Jr., Dylan Cardwell, and Nique Clifford will all play in the Kings California Classic finale tonight, according to sources. However, Emmanuel Sharp, Adam Flogler, and your guy, Jonathan Mobo, they will not play. Alex Caravan continues to be sidelined with his ankle injury that he suffered in practice last week, but he should be, or hopefully will be, good to go in Las Vegas Summer League, where our guest, soon-to-be guests at this time, will be starting next week. Whitey Gleason, soon to be Alan Stiles, will be joining us in studio.
Alan's getting some energy drink.
Pardon me. Kayla gave him a red card because he did not bring the prerequisite energy.
Yeah, he's a little down in the dumps today.
Yeah.
I was like, he didn't say but two words.
Yeah, Kayla said.
I was just wondering if he was just sad about DeMar DeRozan being gone. What'd you make of that, Whitey? It's not surprising, but it's still an end of an era.
It's just nice that it's for everybody, that it's okay, it's over.
Yeah.
Although there's still some details to be worked out.
Nobody is happier than DeMar DeRozan today.
Right. But he was already, we'd all heard, you probably heard, Matt, a long time ago, he's already moved. Okay, so this was no...
Oh, like he actually moved out of...
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So...
Okay.
So it was... it was just a matter of how they're going to do it and when they're going to do it.
Shams is reporting that there are a number of contenders that are interested in bringing him in. I thought the word contenders was interesting.
Empty-handed?
Sorry. So no hyper energy Allen as we welcome him in. We're talking about DeMar DeRozan being waived today. The move that we all saw coming. Shams Charania saying lots of contenders, or multiple contenders, I should say, are interested in him. Certainly them being able to dictate the price point is a big reason why they were not willing to trade for him, but are willing to sign him. And I hear contenders, and the first teams that come to mind are Miami and Cleveland. Those are just the first two that pop into my brain. But I don't know. We've heard a lot about him going home to LA too, and the Clippers being interested, but I wouldn't necessarily put them in a contender category.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like the Clippers thing, we've all tried to manifest it, but I don't know if the Clippers have ever actually showed interest in DeMar.
There were reports that they were a team to monitor from like Jake Fisher or something like that.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But it is part of that, he's an LA kid. You know, like that's the whole thing that we always kind of bring up.
Yeah.
That teams to monitor thing is kind of the, it's like, I don't know if anything's happening, but I don't know, it could.
Yeah.
So then, and then things kind of start to snowball a little bit. Next thing you know, we're talking about, hey, this report that the Clippers are interested, when in fact they may not ever have been at all. I don't know. But you know how that goes.
We'll see where he ends up. But ultimately, again, it's the price point thing. I don't know if he's going to get the league minimum or not. Like, I would expect him, as DeMar DeRozan probably deserves more than the league minimum, but we also know there's not a ton of money out there right now for teams. So maybe DeMar is a league minimum player to play for a contender.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly the Lakers are a team to watch when it comes to your guy Kuminga.
By the way, do you guys even like what they've done in this offseason? And by the way, Rui signed with
the Clippers.
Yeah. With the Clippers, yeah.
Rui-san.
Yeah. The Kuminga thing, again, Lakers, that they don't make sense to me, but I don't know who makes sense, right?
For DeMar or for
Kuminga.
Here, Cleveland.
Kings should have the non-taxpayer mid-level available
They do.
now.
So they will have only $8-ish million of it because $6 is going to Precious.
Sure.
So is like $8 to $9 million enough for Kuminga?
I don't know if what's the market?
What?
Could have had him.
Are you saying you would rather, this is you and your Precious mixtape thing, are you saying you'd rather have all 15 going to Kuminga?
I think so, personally. But I know everybody, Precious might be, is he the most popular player outside of like Dylan Cardwell? I feel like I cannot say anything about Precious.
Oh, well, I mean,
like
Darius,
people get mad.
Darius is immediately a superstar.
Yeah, but maybe that has been on
out of
this.
the role players, I guess.
Malik is still loved here.
Actually, I did want to call you out on something because I was driving in.
The point guard thing?
Great, here we go.
Well, it's not a real call out, but I realized something because you were saying that you didn't think that Malik, you didn't think it was that bad of an overpay when I was driving in listening. And
at the time, it wasn't.
At the time, sure. But now when you look at Malik type players, I mean, these guys are getting like
nothing.
16 for 2 years.
Right. Right.
So he's not going anywhere.
I would feel stronger about it if the guy who signed it was still here. Because I'm not bothered by it because you have two $40+ million contracts on the roster right now to worry about first and foremost. I also like Malik. I'm a fan of Malik's game and a fan of who Malik is as a person. But if Scott Perry had signed into that contract, I think we'd be looking at it a lot more sideways than we are.
Yeah.
I'm for the next year, I'm totally game on let Malik be your backup point guard and don't bother bringing in a Gabe Vincent like you've talked about or bringing Russell Westbrook back or something. That's just me. But I think the Kings feel very strongly, Whitey, about the point guard position. They've been very clear with that.
Isaiah Stevens, baby.
He played well.
Yeah.
He played well.
Play well.
Two-way guy.
You know they're going to do it.
What? Westbrook?
Russ?
Oh, boy.
He's coming back.
We were talking about this earlier. Kayla and I were like, we've seen connections to Washington. If the Kings put the rest of the MLE on the table, which is $8 or $9 million, versus the league minimum, which I don't remember what it is, like let's say $3 or $4 million. I know it's double the amount of money, but if I'm Russ, I'm choosing Washington, right?
I
don't know.
I don't
to play
know,
for
man.
meaningful basketball?
I think he really loved.
I do too.
Just how he was received out here.
Sure.
The role that he had. I don't know.
He ain't going to have that role again, though.
Well, no, but that's a good point.
The starting.
Yeah, that's
he
a
ended
good
up being
point.
the starter. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's got some decisions to make.
If Russ is here the start of training camp, and I don't hate the idea, but if Russ is here the start of training camp, that still doesn't get in the way of what should happen, which is Acuff being the day one starter, right? Or does it? Because I think it would open the door to it.
Russ would be here for a breather to give Acuff a breather.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yep. And to be a vet presence for him.
And to be the vet presence and show them, how to do things the right way.
Well, what we got coming up on the show today, guys?
You bet.
All right.
All right.
You bet.
Let's go.
Sweet. Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, 4 hours.
Did you have something coming up?
You got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
I bet. All right.
We're in for a treat.
We'll see. 4 hours of California Classic reaction, DeMar DeRozan, Bon Voyage, and whatever the hell these guys come up with. It's The Drive, guys. Coming up next, Matt and Kayla will be back with you at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the conclusion of the California Classic right here on Sactown Sports.
Peace.